Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my farming life.
Well, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to my farming life and welcome to the British summertime. We got a deer in front of me. We were able to get this field done. Start the harvest 2024 off to a bang. And then it rained. And it hasn't stopped yet. That was yesterday. So that's knocked that on the head. So we're going to come in and, well, we've got some baling to do, but obviously the straw is soaking wet now. We're going to come in and shift this here header trailer with what might well just become my favorite thing on the farm ever. Look at this. Bungle bought this. I didn't really see the point of it when you first got it, but having used it, I love this thing. It just makes everything so much easier. You can just walk around and shift things without a problem. Move 3-point linkage, mounted machines, trailers, everything. And it just means if all your tractors are used somewhere, you've still got an option. And for days like today, sorry lady, we'll get out your way here. For days like today, when there's, you know, odd jobs that you need to do around the place, you can do them. It's absolutely great. Now, we're going to take the head off the combine and just move the combine up there. And then we're going to stick it into the yard. And then, yeah, we should be good. So, and there's a few small little things we do. We've got a new bit of equipment on the yard that we're going to have a look at. And then we have a few bits of old equipment that we don't really... Well, we use one of them, but we're going to upgrade it. And hopefully try and sell off everything else at the dealer. Trade them all in to make the new bit a little bit cheaper. That's the hope. A lot of machinery movement this year. Wasn't anticipating quite so much, but it's working. We've had a good uptick in our beef operations, which is great. So we'll see. From a yield standpoint, not too bad. Wasn't expecting gangbusters, but it was pretty good. We took one load away to the grain store, and the other is, well, what's left in the trailer there is parked undercover because it's not a full load. So we'll wait to see if we can get a full load to take it and mix it all into one. Speaking of which, we're hoping... Oh, I need to move that forward a little bit more. Just getting used to this. We are having spoken with my other uncle and then the tenant who currently has some of the land down the more Baling Manor there. We should be able to get the shed for the start of our spring barley, which is pretty good. Because we have a lot of spring barley around the place. We can get it all tipped into one shed. And then we can even tickle it through the dryer there as well, which would be great. So... that is going to be fantastic news. And then we'll also be starting on some of the new ground down there as well. Now, what am I doing here? Okay. Just got to get this in a little bit of a better position so we can drop the header straight off. I'm hoping this rain will just give in soon because it's been ridiculous thus far. See, look at that. Can't do that with a tractor very easily. You can angle things in much tighter as well. We're going to be shifting a few things around the yard, like I say. And, it's just superb. Really, really is. Now, the combine. Combine went through seamlessly. It was a good little warm-up, really. Good chance to get a bit of a shine on the metal. And, yeah, I think it did okay. And then just this blooming rain. There's only a handful of folks in the area who I know have got going. And then they, similarly to us, they got to start. And then they were done. We would probably have been moving over to South Healy anyway, just because nothing else is really ready down here. We've got a bit of winter barley up that way, but not a great deal. One would like more. Oh, that's already been done. Perfect. But it is what it is. And then we'll just, you know, we'll hope and pray really that this moves away soon and this will leave us. But, you know, it's just day one of harvest. Come on. What are we doing here? We've got hay to cut down at some point as well. That's obviously not going to happen anytime soon. So we're just kind of at a standstill. Really annoying. Alright, so combine's going to go in that little stack yard. Out of the way. Speaking of out of the way. Move! Shoot! How scared the sheep are of me. Ooh. Another thing. Not a flinch. So yeah, let us know if you got on with anything. If you're going to get a lucky start, and how that ended up for you. Okay. And I guess we'll just wang it into the corner over here for now. Do it out the way. Well, friend, we have a good start. We'll see what happens. We're going to be using that trailer, so what we need to do is launch ourselves over here. Oh, just best thing in the world, this. Let's see what I'm like at driving forward with it, shall we? It's just, yeah, it's just easy. It's just absolutely easy. We want to be... Ooh, not that tight. We have a bit of a swallow because there's a few things I want to clear up a little bit of space for and just be a bit smart about what we have. Now, if I move that down, is it going to affect the handling? Oh, this is going far too well. Something's got to go wrong here. Let's just take it back a bit. We'll crack into that fence. There you go. Alright, so everyone else is away and busy. Bungle's out cutting verges, because at least we can kind of get on with that without making too much of a mess. And it still does a decent job with that flail mower. So he's out somewhere out west, I do believe. And then... Well, there's not much else happening, so I believe Uncle and Cousin are tinkering along over at South Healy. Ooh, not the combine. Let's not go that way. There you go. Okay. Alright, well, hopefully it's not going to be here for too long. But we'll leave it there for now. And then just unhook you. Alright, so. Like I say, I did mention earlier on there that we have got a new bit of machinery in the yard here. It wasn't something expected until it kind of came around by chance, I suppose. But it was a deal that we couldn't really turn down. Cost us a bit of money, but not as much as it could have. So we'll have a look at that in a moment. Fortunately, it's all tucked away in the shed. Could have been using it today, but here we are. Not going to happen. But there you are, perfect. So we're going to be shifting a few things around with this in a moment, like I mentioned there. So we'll just leave this running. We'll go and have a quick look. See, there's my Massey. Grain trailer is looking good. It's got about 6 or 7 ton in the back there. There you go. Lovely to have such a big trailer as well. Very easy to handle everything that we need. And it's, that's what, 14 ton, I think it is, give or take. So that's about 21 ton off a... That field's not very big. I think it's only about 7-8 acres. So, yeah, not too bad. There was an area that wasn't as good as it could have been. But, yeah, for the most part, we're good. And here we are. We've got ourselves a new baler. It's a Fent of all things. It's still in the Massey. It still works. We've had that all working and testing. We've just been looking over it, getting used to it. I say us, Cousins has been down here. And then getting some twine in there and net wrap ready to go. So essentially, this was it was an ex-demonstrator from Fent. So something they'll use on their demo days and they'll have a look-see. And it is something that... Our bale is quite a few years old now. It works okay. We've put quite a few bales on it since we've owned it, only for about 2 years now. And a few issues coming into it. And a few more known issues with that brand that we may have seen coming soon. So it started some resale value. So we're able to trade it in. And then, yeah, we had to pay obviously a little bit extra for this one. But lovely baler. Very nice. We actually had a demo of this a while ago. Well, I didn't, but... Cousin and Bungle went off to a demo day where this was here, and they said they were very impressed with it. So yeah, we were able to get a hold of it for a decent price. It's all plugged back in. And yeah, just a nice new bit of equipment there. So I'm kind of conscious that we do a lot of baling work, and of both silage, hay, and then of course straw when the need arises. So wanted to make sure we were a bit more reliable with that. Obviously last year we had a bit of an issue with our baler. It took some time to fix. And yeah, it's just getting a bit old. So this is pretty much brand spanking new. It's only had a couple of 100 bales on the clock. So really nothing, just essentially getting it going. But yeah, very nice looking machine as well. All we need now really... is a little bit of nice weather where we can actually get out and use it. We're going to have to turn that straw over down there, I would say, before we're ready to go. Bring the rake down and give it a tickle through. But yeah, it is... not looking too bad. So yeah, very nice. That's the latest edition. Now this Massey will, I'm climbing a little power hoe. This Massey will still be able to pull it and handle it okay. We've got the Monza set up in there as well. Cousin was mentioning he wants to look into overhauling and upgrading this soon, but I'm not sure if we'll upgrade this or keep this for like the feeder and everything, and occasionally a bit of plowing, and get rid of the 7810, which would be a tough one to do, but we might, especially because the Massey 5S now is going to do a lot of work on that flail mower. So there may be times where you just don't where we're down the tractor really, so but we could be a bit clever with that one, so maybe it's worth doing, but can't see it being this year. We'll have to wait and see. But now what we are going to look at to do this year, get over here, is we're actually going to look to, we're upgrading our Tether, all being well. We have a 4-star, 4-rotor, however you like to refer to it, Pottinger down here, and it's alright, but it's just a bit small, really. I want us to start tedding out grass as well a little bit more for silage, so yeah, that needs to be, it needs to be a little bit bigger there with the amount of ground that we cover. My original plan for the fertilizer spreader here when we upgraded was to try and use them both. Not going to happen. Hasn't been moved since, so that's going to go. And then the old hay bob, I mean, we're going to tether for goodness sake, we don't need that, and we don't row anything up with that these days anyway. That is just here for nostalgia, I think, and my ultimate end goal is to get rid of a shed like this, so we all know where to keep it. So it's going to go, and so that is the next big step. So what that does mean is I get to play around with this again. So we're going to stick everything onto the trailer, and perhaps when this once we're all done there, we'll take it away to the dealership. But yeah, we'll get everything loaded up best we can and see how it goes. And that'll give us a little bit, I mean, we still have to pay a bit. These tethers aren't cheap by any stretch, but there is one that's been sat in the yard, Trevor's yard, for a while, so that's the one that I think we're going for. And look at that, it's on. Easy street. And now I can just pull her in. That's not coming off in a month for Sundays. Look at it. Perfect. And yeah, like I say, we might just shift a few things around, because I can even put some of the drills and things into there and not have to worry about not getting them out with the tractor, because I can just pull them out with this. And that might work out very nicely indeed, or maybe the spinner or something. But we've got a bit of space and a bit of opportunity to work with here. Alright, so let's get to see what we can get loaded up onto here. I'm hoping we've got enough straps to keep everything tied down. I guess we'll find out. Okay. Slurry separator is back on again, where it was, doing a bit there. That tank's got quite a bit in these days, so we just need to keep on top of that a little bit better. Okay, let's just do this. This is still remarkably in good condition, actually. It's been well looked after. It's just a bit small. If I had another couple of stars on it, I would probably keep hold of it, but it's just not there. Alright, and so that's that one done, that one's done. The old hay bob. And I think that's us. So yeah, if the grass ever dries out and if it ever stops raining, we will be making second cut silage and some hay. So we need to get on that one when we can. But that'll be good to get going with at least. There we go, we've got it, we've got it. Ooh, she's a bit wobbly. And we'll get these loaded up there, get us taken away, and then next time around we'll show you what we bought, I think, and because yeah, that'll get us, and hopefully at least we'll be well back underway with harvest there in a couple of days. But I don't know, weather's supposed to say it stopped raining late tonight, and then a couple of days of warm weather. But well, we'll take that with a grain of salt and see how it looks, I think. So we'll see. But you joined me today in the Massey, coming back from carting off the last of the winter barley, and now. As we look at how clean and tidy the roadsides are here, we've already been through and cut this down. Now we're going to go back and sort a few things out around the yard. It's early morning-ish, it's drying up nicely. We probably will get the combine going later on today. but we're not quite there yet. So we've got a few things to shuffle around the yard. We are baling straw though. That has dried out well, so we put the rake through it, and now Cousin is out having to go with his new baler. So I'll have a swing in on that and see how he's getting on. But yeah, we're making some progress. Hopefully we'll get a few days now where it'll be sunny and it'll allow us to get through our oats, but never know. Oh lord, they're all coming. Where are these cars coming from? Right, I'm going. Yeah, the chance. Perfect. Just cruise through the village here, and then yeah, we'll head on up there. So we are, yeah, hopefully going to see a nice little break in the weather. Allow us to get going properly, because it's been so stop-start, which is annoying. Fortunately, it didn't take too much to dry the straw out though. That was quite good. We were able to get that raked through, move it off the wet ground, and get into it a bit more. Good breeze going through that yesterday, so that's handy. Oats is going to be up next. We've got a couple of fields down here, and then a couple of fields up at South Healy to crack on with. Combine's ready to go. And then we'll see. I think actually the field on our right is going to be really is a little bit more fit than the big field on the other side. But we'll go and double check that and see. And then yeah, it'd be good just to get into it a bit more, really get some traction made here. And then actually Linseed's not that far away, surprisingly. So you never know. We could get a bit done. I don't really want to do the Linseed yet until we get all the oats done, because I've got to change a few things around in the combine for that. And adjust some of the sieves and things, but you know, we will see what the crops are looking like, really. So for right now at least, we'll just swing this on into the yard. Now Bungle was here, he's gone out again, but he has picked up he was on the rake just going through the straw this morning one more time, and he dropped that off, and then brought back our new Tether, which is right there. There you go. So if you watched our last video there when we were rained off, we sold a few bits of equipment, 3 all in, and traded them in really for a rake or a big Tether, which we only paid a little bit on top of. Actually, the value of machinery these days is really holding its own, so it means that you can really do quite well off that. I'm just gonna park this here for now, I think. All right. So somewhere down here, oh, we've got bales out here already, which is good. Cousin should be flying through. And there he is, looking good. So yeah, finally getting the straw baled. That's a tight looking bale there. And we'll get through this actually. So it was not ideal that we couldn't get into it straight away, but it is what it is, and it'll bale up nicely anyway. So we're not gonna have much straw here for now actually, because we're not going to be baling the oat straw. That's going to get chopped straight back into the ground. Obviously got Linseed down here as well, so apart from a little bit of spring barley straw over around the beet field, the rest of it won't be getting until we get the spring barley straw from down at Manor Farm there as well. So yeah, it's gonna be curious to see what we're looking like for straw this year. We'll have to see and play that by ear. And straw's so expensive as well these days. Ideally, if we had a lot of wheat in the ground, we'd be able to really capitalize on that, but at the moment, at least we don't, and obviously we'll be taking on a little bit more ground for next year, so we can try and see what that looks like. But yeah, you know, we'll just have to play it by ear. Now, obviously, we'll just keep baling up everything we can, and we won't sell anything off until we know for sure that we're going to be good ourselves. But you know, it's all part of the dance that you do, really. And there he's going, looking rather good. Look at that baler go, though. Looks immaculate. Really, really good indeed. So yeah, nice, tidy, heavy bales. These are coming in at 1.5 meters diameter, so plenty big enough for what we need. We don't like to put many bigger than that, because they won't really fit into our bale shredder very well. And this gives us everything that we need to go forward with, which is fantastic. So we're going to leave him to crack on. And then we will go and fiddle around, have a look at our tether. We've got a few things to move around. And then hopefully, all being well, we can get a start sooner rather than later. Just listen to that tractor go. Absolutely superb. He's flying through it. When he's not missing bits, he'll come back and get that. But when he's not missing bits, he's absolutely booking it through. And it's really good to see. It won't take him too long on here. We don't have any hay ready yet, or any silage ready at all, but that will be the next task for that baler. We'll get some Because we've got quite a good first cut. I think what we're going to do is bale the headlands and then cut the rest of the hay, and then we'll see how we're looking further off than that. But that's the current thinking. But yeah, things can change. Things probably will change. Anyway, I'm going to get out of his way. Just hop over here. Whoop. I'm going to have a quick look through the weeds here and look into the oats over here and see. Because I think I would like to get this field done first if we can. Nice tall crop off here as well. Oat straw's not very good as a bedding, so we're just going to get this chopped in anyway and allow us to incorporate back into the ground as some organic matter, which would be nice. So we might try and get this one done first and certainly bring the combine header up here. Like I say, we'll get the moisture meter out anyway, have a look-see, but I'm confident we can get this one going first. But anyway. So yeah, as we come on back through into the yard here, we've finished doing a bit of verge mowing for right now. I feel like this needs to go and live somewhere else. I'm not sure where that's going to be right now, but it'll find a place. So the tether. I don't know why Bungo's left it like this. Proud of it, of showing it off, I don't know. But yeah, really nice looking Samaj spread. I believe this is Polish, I want to say. And it's much bigger than what we had. We had a 4-star rotor there, and so we're now on 8. So just a much better unit. And what we want to do as well is be able to throw around our grass for silage, and get it down the deck and then roll it up a lot faster. So this will give us the opportunity to do so. And like I say, cost-wise, it didn't work out to be too bad at all. Last month we've been able to upgrade 2 bits of equipment there and not really have to have too much of an outlay, which is good. So I'm very happy with it. It's just a very nice smart machine. It's been sat in Trevor's yard at the dealership over there for about 9 months now. So we knew it was kind of sitting around and aging a little bit. So we're able to play our cards with that one, I think. Yeah, I'm a big fan of it. We'll look forward to see how it goes for us at some stage or another. It looks great on the Massey. Massey can handle it without any problem. This is rapidly becoming a very versatile tractor for us. It's doing a lot of work and it's got a lot of good opportunities and good usage cases for it. So really do like the 5S. Good move to get that, in my opinion. So what I'm going to do is open a few gates up. We're going to move some things around, which might mean I can get to use my new toy again because I love that thing. We're going to check some moisture meters, see what's looking good, and see where we can go and get set up. Well, there wasn't much in it, but we are going into the big field. Currently, they're both sitting around 15.5% right now. However, as I just try and swing around here, the beautiful thing about this, we can just straighten ourselves up a little bit there as well without causing too much of an issue. There we go. Yeah, so they're both about 15%, 15.5%, which means by the time we get this off ready to go, we'll be probably going about an hour or two, I reckon. They'll be fine. So we're going to jump into the big one, just because it's easier to get into on this side. And then we can also start to work the ground down a little bit after that as well, hopefully. So that is part of the plan. Alright. And we're through. And we're just going to jump on into the silage field here. And we can take it around the border of the field. Try not to cause too much of an issue. Because what I want to do is get some more muck spread in places as well. God knows we've got enough of it around here. Which reminds me actually to go and turn back on the... turn back on our slurry separator. And there we go. So we'll just get ourselves through and set up. Move everything into place here. I'm hoping for fairly decent things from this field. I had a load of muck on it when we drilled it last year. It's got fairly good soil quality about it, and we'll see. So barley off it here last year didn't yield too badly, but we'll have to, you know, been a lot of things happen between now and when it was drilled, so we'll see. But hopefully I can do something good. Do a bit of a solid here. The yields are just going to be all over the map this year, I feel, just because of the conditions that a lot of things went in. It's going to be all over the shop, so we will take what we can, and you know, we'll just have to play it by ear. Now, how am I going to get this in? This is just a slightly bit easier field to get it, or entrance point to get in with. Spring barley over here is looking pretty good. There's a few patches in places where we're turning around to the entrance there, and then sugar beet in the middle is growing nicely as well. So that's going to be our fodder supply for our cattle. And yeah, it's coming along well, I would say, coming along very well. Now, we will just try and poke this through and see how it goes. If I can just maybe scoot it around this corner, that might work, and then we can just reverse the combine in. That's the plan. I'll do it. Perfect. We'll work with that. So yeah, otherwise really there's not much else happening. We are looking to get some more cattle, some more calves coming in for finishing. Hopefully they're going to be a little bit older, but hopefully we'll get those coming in at the end of the month there, and we're going to have some more moving out, so that cycle continues, and we continue to have a bit of consistent supply is what we're looking for, because that way we can get consistently supply coming in, but also export out going to the factories. So if we can get that nailed in properly, then I'll be very happy about it. There's a lot of work to do with it though, a lot of logistics that we're still planning around that in terms of you know, what are we feeding them as a bit of a buffer, how are we making sure that we can be consistently on track with that. Do we have enough space to keep them, because some of them we're going to keep inside as well, because it's just not, they might not be finishing off quite as well outside as we'd hope, so we just got a bit of a sorting out there. Yeah, and so with all of this that's being produced here, ideally we'd like to get that straight out onto the ground that we're clearing now. Namely starting with this field here, because I know this field was quite poor in places, so that will be a hope. How's he getting on over here as well? Oh, I can see him assisting the trees over there. We'll leave him be then. Hopefully get that done sooner rather than later, and we can get those cleared up and stacked up. Alright, every time we use this stackyard, I feel like it's a better and better decision. Really do enjoy it. Makes everything a little bit easier, which is always good. We're gonna just get ourselves hooked up here. We probably won't go yet. We'll get everything ready, and then maybe we'll get an early lunch and see how we're looking. But yeah, it's coming together. It's coming together at least. Oh, and there's Bungle now. He's back with his toy. I'm not sure what he's thinking of there, but you never know. Anyway, I'm sure he's happy, whatever he's doing. No, I think we're okay for diesel, but we might just go and double check that actually whilst we're here. Get the combine filled up, and then we'll get ourselves away. It's really just a case of kind of logistically moving everything around. We're going to be in oats for a while, so we'll bring you along for a ride when we get into the harvesting of it all, really. And then see, it's going to be carted again straight off up to the grain store. Unfortunately, that is just the way it's going to go, really, at the moment. Hopefully that will be something that we can change soon. All right, bud, let's get this all filled up, ready to roll. And then that's us, really. Harvest will continue, hopefully there with a blue sky that it continues to see there in front of us now. But it's all just going to be a bit of everything at the moment, so we will hopefully get into a little bit more detail. If you do have any questions about anything that we're doing on our farm, do please drop them down below. And I will endeavor to try and answer them as we go through. There's going to be a lot of time sitting on the combine seat coming up soon, so no better time to do it. Just a quick update from this evening's harvest. We're back in the oats, and we are finishing up the field to the back of the buildings. It's about 8:30 at night, and it's due to get a little bit wet over the course of this evening, so we're going to try and get this field done. We've only got another pass on here after this one, and then if we can, get ourselves moved on over to the other side, where we will be do as much as we can before the rain comes. I think won't get that field done. It's just over the road there in the elbows, but we'll do what we can anyway. And then yeah, we'll be moving on. But not too bad harvest from here, all being said. Come through pretty well, and there's just me now. Tractor's over there somewhere, and we'll get this all done. But as you can see, we're on the last pass here anyway, and then we'll move across. We'll see how wet it's going to get overnight there. Another wet end to a day of harvest, but which will likely mean, I don't think it's supposed to be too bad, but tomorrow might be a bit of a slower start. So we've got a few things to do with cattle tomorrow, and we will see where that goes. But yeah, oats are coming in well. One more field down here, then off to South Heel to get a few more done over there, and then we should be set. So we'll see you in the morning. Well, good morning, folks. Welcome back. It is about 9 o'clock in the morning. I've just got back in from breakfast, and it is wet. It rained about 8 or 9 mil last night, so that's knocked any chance of any combine work for at least the best part of this morning and a bit of the afternoon there on the head. We got the field over there finished, and then we also got down there started. So the combine's over there. Got a bit of the headlands done. So yeah, we got a little bit more than I thought, but it's, yeah, delayed again. But that's not to worry. We've got some things to do. We're going to go and help out with some cattle logistics. Nice morning to be up there, if nothing else. So yeah, a few tractors all over the place in here. Sounds like the slurry separator is doing great guns here. Oh, it is. Good lord, look at that. Fantastic stuff. So, we are... Massey's over there, parked up out the way. Just got the trailer under the shed. That's about not quite a half full. So we'll keep going with that today. But we're going to take this guy. We bought a little pressure washer. It's quite a big pressure washer, actually. That's quite a sizable pressure washer, actually. But it'll do us... it's going to be great for us. And the reason we've got it is because we need to disinfect a lot of our cattle sheds. And because we now have different cattle sheds at different locations there, we need something a little bit more mobile and agile. So this has a little petrol engine on there as well. And it'll be great. So we're going to give this a whirl. Let's go, and what we'll do first though is just take this tractor on up to South Ely, where we will check in with cousin and uncle and see what's going on over there. We've been selling off a few more of the slightly older cattle as well. So they are moving on, which means we've got another tenner in there. And then as soon as we get more space up at South Ely, we'll be bringing a few more in as well. But they've been doing really, really well. Really good market for beef at the moment. So that's been fantastic. And we're starting to get into a real good groove with finishing. So we're going to make a few changes over the course of the next 6 to 8 months around that. In terms of infrastructure, and because space... a little bit of a premium right now. We want to be able to bring in more cattle to remove, finish more cattle and then export them a little bit faster. So that's what we're looking into. It's all baby steps really as we take this change in our cattle production, growth and finishing. So we just need to figure that all out. Combine's parked up over there in the field though. Like I say, I got 2 passes along this side. Haven't been all the way around, but to start, that field's not looking too bad actually, particularly down that far corner. Looks really, really good. So we'll see if that continues. Anyway, we'll take ourselves on up to South Ely here and see what's going on. I think I'm going to be just disinfecting a few of the pens that we put, like the sick pens really, as we like to call them. So we'll have a look and see what that looks like. And keep myself busy until we can get back on the combine there, that's for sure. Once we finish that field that we're in, we'll be taking the combine up to South Ely anyway. And then we'll be going. We haven't really got much else down here ready to go at the moment. There's a field of beans, but we'll probably leave that for a little bit longer. That won't take any harm. We'll go up before that van comes in. There you go. Perfect. So yeah, off we go. We'll see you up in South Ely. Alright, so we're just heading on up to South Ely now, and we'll go and see what's going on. We hauled up quite a lot of separated manure up to there. We're going to stick that into that field. That was just left set aside over the year. We've got a few fields to come up here and attack very shortly though. This will be one of the fields of oats that we're jumping into when we finish down the way. And that'll be good to get going. Oh, it looks like they're already moving cattle of some description. Let's go and see what is happening over here then. And then we'll figure out what we're doing and get ourselves up and away, I think, here this morning. Let's just leave that about here for now. Well, hello.
Morning. How are you getting on?
Not too bad. Bit of a wet start this morning or from last night, so we're not doing too much, but I'm here to help.
Yeah, my weather app suggests it will warm up by midday.
I'm hoping so. If it does, we'll probably get going with some oats around mid-afternoon if it dries up enough, and then combine will be up here tonight to get going with the stuff that we have up here as well.
Thanks for giving us a hand. We've got a fair number of cattle to move around this morning, trying to clear up some shed space for the next arrivals.
Yeah, no problem at all. I picked the new pressure washer, as you can see, so we'll give that a whirl and get some things disinfected. And then we should be all set there. It seems like we've been doing great guns, actually. I was talking to Dad the other night. Looks like we're really cracking on.
Yeah, we've had a good couple of months. The cattle we sold were doing really well. Real monsters.
Yeah, some of them are looking huge. The ones over at the satellite yard were looking ginormous. Real coffee tables, as I've heard them described.
The buyer we're using has been superb in finding quality beast.
And it looks like we're going to try and expand a little bit, maybe bring in a few more as well.
Hopefully we can handle another 50-70 if we rotate properly.
17. That's gonna be busy. It's gonna keep us on our toes a bit.
I think we need to start looking at another feeder wagon. Dragging this one to 3 different sites now is not ideal. What do you think, Dad?
Think about what?
Oh, hello.
About picking up another mixer wagon?
Oh yeah, it's starting to make a lot more sense with the amount of work we're sticking into it. Perhaps an upgrade to the tractor as well.
Well, something to think about.
Yeah, sure is. The price of growth, I suppose. Anyway, let's get moving here.
Right then, cousin, can you start with the pressure washer by cleaning out those 2 pens around the back? We'll keep moving cattle around.
Oh, the 2 like sick pens is there? Sure, I'll go and get on with those. And then if you need any help with moving anything, let me know. All right, crack on. So, now this thing I need to get some additive for, really, or some washer fluid, but we'll figure that one out. I'm just going to take this around the corner here and see what this looks like. Turn off my beacons, because this has its own generator on, so once we get through here, we'll probably just knock everything off anyway. But yeah, we're going to tidy up these a little bit, and then clean them out, disinfect them, and then they'll be ready to go again. And then we'll do the same. We received about another 10 calves, not many, but just another 10 down at Moor Farm. And we're trying to shuffle things around up here so we can get everything in up here, because we're due to receive some more soon. And to Cousin's point there, we do want to try and increase a little bit. So where we can, we need to organize everything so we have similar kind of batches in the same pens, similar age groups, and then work out from there. Now, in the pinch, we can put, if they are very young calves, we can put maybe 2 or 3 into each of these for the short term, but that's not really going to solve this long-term bigger issue. I'm going to move that bale of straw, and then we will, let's just move this back over here a bit. There we go, drag that back so we can clean that out as well, and then we'll give these a bit of a wash down and see how we're getting on. But yeah, so these are kind of like our, in the pinch there are overflow, but predominantly the here, if we have any cattle that we need to separate for any reason, we can stick them into there and keep an eye on them. And if they have anything that might spread, it's limiting the impact of that. All right, let's get the old macro on the go here, and then we'll just shift that bale. Perfect stuff. All right, and then we might just get the bucket. Actually, that might be a little bit easier in there. We'll probably pull that back on in there. And then, yeah, like I say, they're going to be moving cattle over to the satellite yard. And then we have a bunch of limousines that we're looking to, that are probably going to go soon. I think there's about 20 or 30 that will be going soon. We've sold, in the last month there, we've sold about 40 head of cattle. And they've done very, very well. Some of them averaging out, those that are on about 18, 19 months are averaging out about £1,200. So we've done very, very well with that. We're really pleased with that. Which is really pushing our decision to go towards a bit more of a solid approach to our beef finishing. But we just need to really figure out how we're going to do it from a logistical standpoint. Cousin mentioned there about another feeder wagon, so we can have 1 in each yard, because right now this one in the morning has to do 3 different places. Here, and then over at the satellite yard, and then back out down to the other yard at Baling there. So there's a lot of moving around. It does take time, and with that as well, it's currently on a 7810, which means it's quite slow. So we've thought about it and looking in to see if we can find a good second-hand feeder tractor and mixer wagon as well to go with it, or even something you can maybe stick onto the straw blower as well, just to make it all a little bit more simplistic and easy, and something that you got another set of wheels for if you need. I don't know. Right now, obviously, we've got the 2 main field tractors, I'd say, would be mine, and of course this the 5S here. But it's worth looking in to see if there's any other options out there. So that's something that we'll probably do, just to see if we can, you know, speed everything up, really. If we can have a tractor at both sides, that means that we can get on with feeding earlier in the morning, and then we can be done. And then that is all part of the plan that we're hoping to achieve. So there's a lot of small little things like that that we're still figuring out. Of course, there's a cost with that as well, but right now we are finishing off quite a few head of cattle at the moment there, so we really want to get ahead of the game. We were previously housing that cattle, getting them through calving, and then selling calves at an early age to other finishers, but we've decided that we're doing a lot more of that in-house. So like Cousin was mentioning, we've got a good buyer now who's phenomenal at what he does, and he's really good at finding us good stock, good weight, and good quality young calves as well. So we'll probably continue down that trend for right now, at least anyway, and just adapt our business where we can. But this is our little pressure washer dealie. Oh, we've got a washing fluid on the front there. Perfect. Okay. So this is a little diesel powered generator and pressure washer. So it allows us to get to this. It can get us up to the satellite yard there and do everything that we need just in ease, really. So we're going to give these a bit of a wash down. And then we'll mainly just the edges. Then we'll get everything mucked out properly, and then we can move on. But essentially, this will mean that we can these will stay here, and should we ever need to, we can get them rolled out pretty quickly and get someone set up. But let's see. Oh, there you go. It's on. It's on. It's working. All right, I'm gonna get these all blown down, washed down, and then we'll move on to whatever's next.
Left the big city for the simple country life. Found myself a woman that it took for me to be my wife.
Well, that seemed to go pretty well. We'll leave those to dry out a little bit, and then that's me done for that stage. I don't know what else they want me to do up here, but we'll drop this pressure washer off anyway. And then we'll go and see whilst we're here and waiting, because I think they've just gone out to get some more, move some cattle around. So whilst we're waiting, fancy we'll go and take a quick peek at some of the oats. See how they're looking around here. Maybe take the quad if it's still here as well. We can certainly drop this off somewhere. Stick it into here for now. Why not? These things are a pain to reverse. Such a short wheelbase. Just take it nice and slowly. Okie dokie there. That worked out quite well. Yeah, handy little tool that. Really, really impressive. Okay, so there's no grass really ready up here apart from that very small paddock as well, which is right down by the river there, but that's not really much to get going with. Let's just go off here for right now. So yeah, really, this setup's great if it's staying around the yard, or it doesn't have to go too far, but taking this 7810 up and down the road every day isn't superb. I don't know what we'd do to upgrade it though, or what we'd go to. It's a different conversation for a different day, I suppose, but yeah. And we're looking at a few different feeder wagon options right now, but there's a lot of cost in those. Okay, let's go for a bit of a spin anyway. And we're going to have a look-see. So we're going to head straight on over the other side of the silage field here and just take a quick peek at what that's looking like. This is where we'll be heading to next. And there's a few down towards the village actually of Netherton there, but we will get to those when we're ready. There's more muck that we need to get spread. It's everywhere at the minute. Absolutely everywhere. Alright, this is looking alright. The grass is still wet around here though, so we won't get into it today, but another good looking crop up here actually. Should be a good one to get into. Certainly looking ready for that moisture drops down a touch there, which, I mean, it's sunny, it's warm, and there's a bit of a breeze, so that should drop by the end of today. Of course, I have to get the combine up here, but that's certainly one option for us there. Okay, looking very handy indeed. And now we'll just wait to see what's happening when they come back and see what we're moving to where and how. Alright, so we have a plan. They've moved some of the younger stock from the shed here up to the satellite shed. We're going to take some of the older Angus here. They're going to go down to Baling with me because we've got a load going out there tomorrow and this will just make up the numbers. So that's all being moved around there now. And then hopefully once that big load goes out tomorrow, in the next week we'll have some new younger stock coming in that we can finish off there as well. So that is all part of the plan. We'll leave the new Massey up here. Get that door shut, and Cousin's probably gonna get on with a bit more bedding up around here very shortly, I would say. Yeah, so this, I mean, this Massey's been with us for years, decades now actually, and it's a beast of a machine, but it's a 30k box and it's not ideal for doing a lot of road work to and from. It's just the machine that's used more than not because of its up here really. So something of a similar horsepower, maybe a little bit more, somewhere around the 140, but with predominantly just the one with a 40k box in there would be the dream scenario. But I would still probably veer towards keeping this and getting rid of the Ford. But, you know, we'll see. We've got to think about that one. There is an auction coming up soon with a feeder wagon in that we're going to be looking into, but you know, there's a lot to cover between now and then. Primarily making sure we continue to establish this as a good option for us, as a business option, to really get into the finishing in a bigger way. And if we do, then maybe what the future holds is another shed somewhere up here as well, just to allow us to really increase our numbers. But that's a long way away. We'll just have to see how we go. Fortunately, the two farms aren't too far apart from one another. It's just about manageable, but it does bring in a lot of extra logistics in there, of course. Just swing quite wide here, and again, big stock trailer on the back here, so you gotta really make sure you get around. So Cousin was able to get everything finished baled up there the other day as well. We need to get those all stacked up and brought into the shed at some point. Those have taken no harm from the rain last night. We'll just let them dry out in the sun a bit before we do bring them in anyway, and then we'll be all set there. Not as many bales as I'd hoped, which I hope is not an indication of how this year's going to go, because otherwise we won't get to sell much at all. We'll have to keep a hold of a lot of it, but we will just keep an eye on that one and see. Spring barley's coming along. You can just see it over there. It's turning that like a very subtle yellowy green color. Still a long way off from getting into that one. That'll be a few months. That'll be late August, September at the very earliest, one would imagine. And we'll see how we go. Sugar beet's growing fine as well. We'll have to look into how we're going to harvest that one soon and see if there's a contractor in this area that can come in for us, because sugar beet's not something that's growing too much around here. So we'll have to see what we can do for that. I'm not too sure, but yeah, it's nice that it's going to be good, that it's nearly finished. Oh, hello there. Now, what we haven't done yet and what we need to do is get another Collinson bin over at South Healy as well. We've really seen a drop in the cost of mineral feed by having it on site there and buying in bulk rather than through pallets. So that is something we'll look to do. And yeah, just adding bits to it bit by bit. Just continue to expand our options is part of the modern day farming really. And looking into the best way to make it as a cost-effective operation as possible. So that's all going to be part of the plan. Not much on this side of this field left to do, but that's quite a big field on the other side of that tree line, so we'll see how we get going. Probably come down there once we've got these cattle unloaded and just start to get everything serviced over there. Just so we're in a position to go when once this burn away any of this dew that's still in the grass and get this moisture dropping down a little bit in the oats themselves. Okay, and around we go. And wouldn't you know it, there's more muck to shift, because we always do. And I need to go and drop off that load of grain as well, actually. Alright, so like I say, we picked up another 10 or so in here yesterday. You can see we've got the Angus in here now as well as the limousines, but they're all looking good. We'll keep an eye on them as they continue to go. Plenty more space. We will be looking at a few more in here as and when we can. Probably, like I say, another week or so for a big load to come in. And then in here, well, we're going to be saying goodbye to some of the Angus ladies in here as well. So that's going to be interesting. Now, what we need to do is pull forward a shade. And we'll just crack that gate and get these folks out of here. Alright, so we'll get these all unloaded, and then move around what we're going to be taking away in the wagon tomorrow, and then we're pretty much set, really, back in the combine, see where we're going, and see how the rest of the day shapes up. Well, I am in the combine again. We're heading back up to South Healy. We've got all of the stuff done down here that's fit. It's a busy day today, there's a lot happening, so I'm taking this up on my own. Header trailer behind me, so we'll see how we get on. Bungle is over there, he's looking at his mower, I think. He is, as you can see, knocking down the headlands of second cut. He's done all the ground down here, knocked the headlands off at least, apart from the small paddock behind the house. And the idea being that that's all going to be baled up and wrapped up tomorrow. And then the rest of the ground will be knocked down for hay. Because we're doing pretty well for silage at the moment, so we don't want to make too much and not have enough hay there. So that's the plan. And we will see how we get on there. And then he'll head up to South Healy at some point as well and do the same up there. Now, I'm not sure if we're going to get a start with the oats. We will see. We might. It's a good day tomorrow, so we're not in a huge rush. We might just be able to get it all done tomorrow. Because there's going to be a little bit of moving around. Oh, he does it. So yeah, we might just take everything over and leave a bee parked up. We'll have a look, see though. And a lot happening today. Today's the day I really want to just discuss expansions. And we're going to look into what that looks like for us as a farm and as a business over the last few months, and also, well, last year really, and also what the future expansions look like. I know it's something we touched on a bit in the last episode, but we're really going to dive into that and put some numbers behind it really, to see what that really looks like for us and our projections moving forward. So it's a busy time of the year at the moment. There's a lot happening right now. Obviously trying to get some hay made. The weather's starting to look finally good for the next like 4 or 5 days. Dry, a bit of wind, so that should be good. And then that'll mean that we can get ahead. We've only got oats ready right now. The beans are coming, but they're not quite there, I'd say. So we'll just see how they look. But wheat's a little bit off as well, so we'll have to wait for that. But we'll get the oats done for sure up here, and then we'll probably leave the combine up here and just wait and see what's fit, and then we'll take it from there. And then we can concentrate on getting silage and hay made. So it's going to be quite exciting. Now this is going to be the fun part. This bit is just never easy, especially coming through here with a combine as well. Ideally we're going to go up to the left, and then we're going to cut back through the farm track because it's just a bit wider to get through, and that's where one of the first fields of oats lay. It's getting late in the day now. We are currently... Ooh, out the way, lady. Good lord. Getting on there. Oh, there's a car coming, so maybe not. Really? My word. I mean, it's not like I couldn't be seen. I'm fairly large here, and I'm yellow, and I've got flashing lights everywhere. What are we doing? Oh my good lord. I don't know how we made that through there. I really don't. Some people, just incredible. Gates open, great, and here we go. Thank God for this track here though, that's all I'll say. Alright, well. So yeah, the first field that we'll go into is actually just going to be around the corner here. So what we could well do, it's only a very, very small one as well, so I don't even know if we'll get 7 and a bit tons that this grain tank holds off this. But we will see. I often think about just sticking this into a grass pasture with everything else on here. But we do need, and quite often we will have wheat or barley in here, so we get straw off it. But that's certainly the first field there. And I wonder, let's see if we can get in here. Give it a go. No. What we'll do instead, we'll just swim out a bit here. Take a little bit of this grass down. So we'll get ourselves into here at least anyway, and then we will have a bit of a discussion starting up at South Healy about what expansion looks like for us. And well, that is where we will leave it for now. All set up and ready to go for the morning. So, let's have a bit of a walk up here, I suppose. I'm going to take our Land Rovers up here, we're going to take that back down. On the way, we're going to have a look at something else exciting that's happening over at Manor Farm as well. But first of all, a couple of things to check in with up at South Healy. So this ground here, the grass isn't as long, it's quite thick here though, so we'll get this cut down. We will be coming up here to get that field over there done as well. And then trailers up here as well. I'll have to move that down in the morning. But we want to check in on a few things really here and have a bit of a discussion. First of all, you'll see that there is the Abbey feeder wagon here. This is actually a second one. We discussed in the last episode, I think, about possibility of acquiring a second one just to make things easier. And we've done it. We picked this one up. We liked the other one so much, it just made sense. We were familiar with it. It is a tub mixer that we like. And it works perfectly well for us. So why change that? We were able to get a hold of one, so we did. So that is really good. And over the corner here, just behind the map, bro, we have our new Collinson's bin, the second one for us here. This has about 5 tons of cake inside of it. And yeah, again, similar thing, we get on well with the Collinson bin. It's worked out very nicely for us down at Moor Farm. So it made sense to get another one, and again to reduce down the cost of those because that is excessive. So buying in bulk works out well for us, and that's exactly what we've decided to go ahead and do here. And the reason we're doing that is because we have a larger uptake of cattle around here. Our beef finishing is really starting to take a step up, and we need to be able to factor that into our growth. There is something inside that shed there. We're not going to look at it today, but we will look at it another day there, and it's another new bit of equipment that I'm quite excited about, so we'll have a look into that one. But as it is right now, we are currently at just under 350 head of cattle, around about 344 I think is the last count. And that does rotate through. We do have young stock in here all the way through to just under 2 years. And we will be cycling through there, and those older stock, some of them will be kept on the farm for breeding, some of them will be sent off to production, so to the abattoirs and turned into cuts of beef. And then we'll be looking to continue to bring in younger stock, fatten them up, finish them off, and really take them into the production chain as well. And that will continue throughout. Now, like I say, right now we're at 340-ish head of cattle. We can probably stretch it up to close to 400. But we do start to hit our limit in terms of space. We have a few different areas that we farm right now. We've got this cattle shed here. There's the satellite farm over yonder. And then we have the 2 sheds down at Moor Farm as well. But the issue that we might have is that ideally I would want to see, and it's aligned with my dad, my uncle and my cousin, that we would see an additional storage or cattle sheds up here. Problem that we land up with that one here is that this is a long-term tenancy farm, which means that we can't really do too much because it's not our farm really. This is a multi-generational lease, so we're going to be here for a while, and we have been here for a while, but it does restrict what we can do. We have to get approvals, we have to run it by certain people, so it's likely that any other upgrades would come to our own farm down at Moor Farm that we own. So that is something that we're looking into to see if there's any more space. We've already put 1 shed up down there. I'd like not to have to put another one up there just yet, but you never know. It's these things could happen. So we'll have to see. And also the cost of it. We still got to pay off that first shed. But that's where we'd like to get to, where we can have a nicer, bigger shed. We are getting a dribble bar for this coming very shortly. We did get a grant into that one, so that will allow us to be a little bit more in line with new environmental schemes coming up, so that should be good. And yeah, let's go and take a drive. So cattle have increased. Numbers have gone up probably about 44 to... No, I would say more than that, about 100 since we really started to invest into our beef herd. So the numbers are really expanding there, and it's allowing us to really think about what that looks like. It does increase the workload on us, of course, which is why we've got that extra mixer wagon in there. And next year we might well look into a secondary straw chopper to have it up here as well, along with the one that we have down at Baling. So a lot of things to factor in. The beef price has been phenomenal recently, which is really always a good help. That does significantly boost things and add to your models and your accounting when you're getting such a good roaring trade. But you've also got to factor in that won't stay forever. So it's one of those balances really. You've just got to make sure it all works out for you. From an arable standpoint, so far so good, I would say. There's a long way left to go. We're not even into the corner of the oats yet, and then we've got a lot of wheat to run into, and then soybeans. So we'll have to wait and see. And then we are after a little bit of sugar beet to factor into our rotation now as well. Like I say, we really want to focus on having everything growing in-house there. So that's what we're trying to achieve. We are going to go back up here actually. we have invested an awful lot over the last 6 months into the arable side of things. New tractors, new drills come into the equation there, new fertilizer spin as well, all with the aid of making things a little bit more efficient, allowing us to really use our time more thoroughly, cover more acreage, because our acreage is always expanding at the moment. We are taking over the tenancy of land from my other uncle. So we're going to be taking that one on gradually. We've taken on 2 fields there, and we're about to take on another 3, which is really rather exciting. We're going to go and have a look at those now, actually. Away we go. Because yeah, that is adding an awful lot to our practice, and we need to factor that in terms of what our workflow looks like, our investment in terms of man hours as well as the machinery costs to get everything done. That's going to really, right now, for example, the next couple of weeks are going to be very, very busy because we have a lot of work to do on those fields along with everything else. So it's going to be a good busy time for us. But once we get this all set up and working properly, then we should be able to really reap the rewards. It's also crucial that we identify and work this crop rotation properly, because we're going to find that straw is going to become a very much more important part of our planning. To buy straw now is very expensive, so if you don't have enough, you can be in a real bit of a bind, which we obviously want to avoid. So we'll have to try and see what we can do for that, and see how we can budget for that accordingly, because we're going to need a lot. Daily bedding up there really across 4 different sheds will start to add up pretty quickly. Okay, so around the corner we go. This is the back way into the village of Baling. And what we're actually going to do is take a jump down here. So about a year ago, we took over the land on the other side of the woods there. It's around about 70 acres, all in, just under. Actually about 65. And that is now in spring barley. We should hopefully get a really good crop of that one over the course of late summer. So we're looking forward to seeing how that one works. We have a lot of investment in that with cover crops, with organic matter in there as well from composted manure. So we're going to see how that one works out. And the plan was always, part of the reason why we invested into the new combine, was to have a lot more capacity, because we knew at some stage or another we were going to be taking over more ground here. As you can see, these fields have been harvested and they are now ready for us. The tenancy has ended for the previous farmer, who is not long off cleared these actually, and you can see that his combine is still down here. So we're taking on a little bit over 80 acres now down here, so that's going to be another 80 on 65 there, so it's about 145 acres we've got, which is going to be a lot of work. This will be going into, this is really where the large amount of work kicks off for us, because look at that combine there, let's have a look at it. A lot larger than anything we've got, that's for sure, but that is a Trion by this thing. Absolutely huge. All of these 3 fields, all of which are very large in themselves, they'll need, we're going to be doing some soil sampling, but they'll be having a lot of the muck and the composted or the separated slurry from more farm is going to come down here. So we'll be putting that on. We will be putting it into a cover crop as well, because it won't be going in until the spring. So we'll put the cover crop onto here so we can actually get some nitrogen fixation through that as well. And that'll hopefully work wonders with some compaction too. And that'll kind of be like a field reset rather than going in with a plow and turning all over that way. This is a bit of a beast. It'd be nice to have something like this, would it not? Pipe dreams right there. That's what that is. Absolute pipe dreams. So yeah, that's going to add a lot of work, because we're going to need to spread slurry or spread manure on here. We'll have to hire in another spreader to go with ours, surely just to get the quantity covered off. So we'll have to spread muck on here, spread slurry if we need to on here as well, just to go that extra bit. And then drill cover crop into here as well, whilst all the time still thinking about the hay that we've got to make, the second cut silage we've got to make there, and continuing with harvest. So we're going to get stretched, that's for sure. But it should work out very well for us. This is good ground down here. It should work out very well for us. I'm really impressed with how the spring barley's come along over there. Really taking a good starting point. So again, when we talk about that expansion piece, that's why we invested heavily into machinery recently as well, because we knew this was coming gradually, so we could spread the cost across a lot more acres. The combine's been paid off for as well, but things like the 2 tractors are now on finance as well, so we need to consider that. And when you can spread the cost of your repayments across more acres, that really does make it a little bit more palatable. So we'll have to see. Now, I think there will be opportunities for more investment as well. We'll have to see how we get on this year. But yeah, ultimately, I think this is looking really good. It's just starting to maybe go a little bit yellow in places, but we've got a long way to go. Good crop. Pleased with it so far. It's had a lot of work. And hopefully that will continue. But we'll have to wait and see that. But yeah, it's just about making a lot of the right investments to match the work that we're doing. And really some of the stable investments you can make, or you should be making, so going to be around land, and then also supporting that investment with machinery. The cattle is a kind of a different arm of the business here, but that is starting to really take care of itself as well. We do a lot of the work in-house. One thing we don't do at the moment is spraying. We will be looking to try and change that soon. In fact, let's have a quick peek through here. Because what I'd like to do is be able to bring in or get my spraying certificate, so we can do the spraying ourselves and look to find a sprayer somewhere. And then a few other bits of equipment just to help speed the job up, which really would be great. But I think for this year we'll see how we get on. A lot more land to cover there, like I say, but it will be worth it. I have every confidence. I'm hoping that we can get into this ground fairly soon. We will be using the sheds over there to store the spring barley in, because we're not going to be selling it straight off, providing that we get all the right results from our laboratory testing. It will be going away to make a lager somewhere, so we'll have to make sure that we can store it until they're ready to take it. There is a good grain handling system in the shed, which will work handily, but we just need to... Not sure if the other farmers got anything in there yet or not, but we won't be using it till the spring barley anyway. All of our wheat's been pre-sold, so we can take that away anyway. And yeah, that should be us. So yeah, this year's been busy. We've expanded across all fronts. A lot of acreage, a lot of animals, and a lot of shiny metal as well. And there's more to come with it. So we will be, over the course of the next couple of episodes there, we'll be getting caught up with all the harvest, with all the haymaking, and hopefully clearing out the second cut as well. And then into this ground will come. So it's going to be really, really fun. So I hope you do enjoy and come along for the ride there. And we will see how we get going. Today you join me as we are just on our way back from the grain store, having just tipped off the last of the oats. We're going to head over to Moor Farm now, drop off the trailer here, and then follow up with the rest of the gang, who we should be passing very shortly here, I would imagine. They have been busy on the silage as we just creep around that corner. Good lord, that's never easy. They've taken off all the headlands down around Baling, and then they'll be heading up. There's one field knocked down at South Healy they've got a start on now, and then that will be them done, which would be nice. In fact, I think here comes one of them right about now. There is Cousin with the new baler on the 31. There he goes. And yeah, so they've got everything done. I'm going to start stacking everything up and get ahead of everything there, so that'll be good to do, and then we can see where we go. It's busy at the moment there, but we are all done with all things. There goes Bungle. There he is. Hello to you. Let him pass. We're done with all things harvest for now. Nothing else is ready. And here's Uncle, bless him, crushing it in the old 78. Having a great time with it as well. The oats are all done. There's nothing else quite ready. Dear, everywhere. So we need to just hang on and wait for the wheat to get ready. Linseed's not quite fit either, so that'll allow us a bit of time to get ahead with the silage and haymaking. And then, if we can, one of us will start spreading some muck or carting some muck down to the new ground that we picked up down at Manor Farm there. So lots to do still. We'll have to get after it and see how we get on. But yeah, not too many bales I heard off some of these headlands here, which is a little bit disappointing. But we'll get them gathered up anyway there, and as you'll see, the rest of it's going to get turned up into hay anyway. So we'll get ourselves away there, and we should be looking all right. This really is just extra because we had such a good first cut grass. Ideally, if we kept our numbers of cattle the same, we probably wouldn't need a second cut, but because we are going to be moving a lot of livestock in and out as part of the new approach for finishing beef, we're going to go and get as much as we can here. So that should be good. Oats have gone through very, very well. Really, really pleased with how they've turned out, actually. Wasn't expecting the yields to be quite as strong. Quality were great. They have met grade for going away to be, well, porridge oats, effectively. So they are all good, and we got a phenomenal price locked in for that as well. So really, really pleased with how the oats have gone in there. I made up in short for a little bit of a weakness in some of the barley, but yeah, great to see. Really, really pleased and stuff there. Now, what we're going to do here is actually just spin this around and drop this in the yard. We don't need to take this tractor because we've got a secret weapon ready for us for today. So I will go and pick up the... Park you there for now. I'm going to go and pick up the Land Rover. We'll take a bit of a drive and see what that looks like, and we'll show you, well, what our secret weapon is and what we're going to be using. Alright, so the end of a busy-ish day. Hopefully we'll get everything wrapped up there this evening nice and quickly. There's only that small field out the front to do, and then tomorrow I think we're going to start knocking down the rest of the grass that we need to get on with. But yeah, we just didn't want to go too far because it's supposed to get a little bit damp tonight as well, so just do what we can manage today. And then the rest we will take care of tomorrow, I suppose. But yeah, lots still to catch up on with, really. Lots for us to get going with. It'll be good to get a bit of field work done so we can get some cover crops into the ground down at Baling, and then leave that. And then we'll turn our attention to the wheat and the linseed, which will probably be about another week away, I would say. But weather dependent, of course. But if it is a week, then that'll be great. There's plenty of time. Lots of hay to make still. A lot of hay that we really need to make there, just to get on top of things. So we will see how that goes. Just come through the old village here. Perfect. All this ground down this way is yet to be cut down. That's all going to go into hay, we've decided for right now. We still have quite a lot of silage bales left over from last year, so we're going to add to that now, and then we'll see what we're looking like at the end of that. Because we can still get a third cut in as well. There's a deer. And that'll be great to add more if we feel like we should need it. But otherwise, yeah, we're looking pretty good. The oats that we were into up here went really well, actually. Good yield, especially from the field just on the other side of the bank there. That was a very, very good field. And we'll hopefully see a lot more of that. Oh, and now they've started and they've stopped. Figure out why. There's always something when the three of them are cracking on, but they seem to have fixed it. Whatever it was. A fair amount of grass on here. Like I say, we're probably going to try and just increase that stack over there, or that's getting a bit weak and falling apart. There is another one around the back of the silage pit that we might look to continue with as well. And we will see. You'll notice that Uncle's carrying a trailed wrapper around. It's not ours. We've got it on demo. We have a McHale of our own, which is a stationary, which requires you to obviously load up the point. But we're going to try this to see what it's like, see if it helps or works better for our practice. And we can take it from there, like a bundle, have a lovely time. And then, yeah, we'll find out. But, yeah, not a bad looking crop of grass at least, I think. I would say it's I've certainly seen better, seen worse, but we will we'll have a look, see how this continues, and we'll see what we can get caught up from this. Now, I'm up here because I'm going to come and cart some bales away, and we've been doing a few bits and pieces around that, looking into different options for machinery, as I mentioned a few episodes ago, around about how we're looking to expand. Well, we did make another decision. We bought a new feeder wagon, new to us feeder wagon, which is there, of course. We mentioned a while ago that we were toying over the idea of a new tractor, and we've gone and pulled the trigger on this lovely Massey 6480. Of course, we went Massey, but look at the rims on it. Doesn't that just look great? This came from somewhere down in Yorkshire, and it has about 4,000 hours on the clock. It's in immaculate condition. And it is going to be great for us up here for a couple of reasons. One, it allows us to keep the Ford 7810 down at Baling on the feed wagon down there. We'll have the 3125 and this staying up here predominantly. So we'll have a feeder wagon up here. But this will allow us to move bales around with a little bit more ease where we need to. And it'll also allow us just to have a bit of a faster machine up here when we need for road work as well. The 7810 is great to have, but more often than not it just stays on the feeder wagon. And it's got a 30k box, so it's not ideal for doing any of the bigger stuff, really. So if we can avoid that, we would obviously love to. Right now, though, we're going to cart some bales, but to do that, we need to go and get our bale trailer. And I think last time I saw it was actually just tucked around over the corner here. So we're going to have a look-see. And then we'll these ones right here, there's not too many bales on this field, so we'll just get these all stacked up nice and quickly. There's trailers in the way there, and what I'd like to do is rather get those ones finished first, so we'll go and stack them around the other side. I've got plenty of space here anyway. But let's hook on up to this one. And then we'll see. We haven't had a front loader tractor here for a while. Will be quite nice to have a little bit of a different machine. There was a little bit more versatility where we need it. Alright, let's get you loaded up there. That's wonderful. And then we'll see how we're getting on. So it looks like they are absolutely smashing through here. So it won't take them too much longer at all, which is fine. We'll make it work. And then, yeah, like I said, that's them done. Combine's all in the shed out of the way. And then they'll be on tomorrow. Field around the back of the sheds over there will get mown down. And then there'll be a few others to get cracking on with as well. So plenty for us to do. And then that'll be getting hay, because we are very low on hay at the moment. Really, I've used up quite a bit of it. So let me just swing this into here. And let's see how we go, shall we? Alright, well, bungle's finished. Raking's all done. We're going to try and get as many of these bales that are in the way cleared out of the way now. So just so Uncle and Cousin can get through without any issues. It's a nice quiet little load. This is the first time I used this tractor, I must admit. Cousin and Uncle went to go and have a look at it. Mainly because they're going to be the ones who are using it more often than not. But yeah, they liked it, and I can see why, actually. It's a nice looking bit of equipment. Does the job. And it's yeah, just a good all-around solid example of a tractor that we can use and we will be reliant upon for quite a bit. We do have quite a lot of machines here now, it will be said, but some of them, you know, that they're one job kind of machine moving forward, I would imagine. So we'll see how that continues and see if anything changes, but for now at least we're all looking good. There we go. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how this continues. Like I say, a few bales to go and clear up down around Baling. Probably do that tomorrow at this rate, because it's getting a little bit later on in the day. Main aim is just to get this everything baled up first, and then we'll be good. And then after that, well, it's just a case of seeing what the weather's like for us, so we can hopefully get along with a little bit more silage, a little bit more hay, beg your pardon, and then so that'll be good. The straw still to be carted in. That'll be a job for tomorrow as well, I would reckon, just as we can start to really get ahead of things elsewhere. Can't quite see properly there. There we go. Perfect. We've got it. And then, yeah, we'll be able to push forward, really. This tractor could actually do quite a bit of groundwork for us as well. It's got enough power in it to do so, for sure. And we will see. Yeah, loader's certainly very receptive on here. So far, at least. It's been a quite nice little thing to try and handle. Let's see. Everything seems to be going relatively to plan there. But yeah, I'm impressed by it. Oh, and I think there's Bungle as well. Let's go and have a quick chat with him. Now then, Bungle, what do you reckon? Alright, good job done this, like. Been a productive day. It has. I didn't think there was as many bales as I thought we were expecting, though. I was expecting a few more, especially from the headlands down at Baling. Aye, well, maybe not quite as good a growing conditions as we thought, like. But we'll see. We'll get plenty of hay off it all. Yeah, I think we will. What do you think of the new Massey? It's a good tractor, that one, isn't it? I like it. It is. So, I mean, this is my first time in it, but it's tidy, nice and quick, nice and sharp. Good loader on the mind. I really like that. Yeah, you're not wrong there. A cracking loader, cracking. How did you get on with the oats today? Really, really good, actually. Very good. Very pleased with the yield coming off there. And then from the first samples that we sent away, they're all looking very strong and look like they're going to pass fit. So we are looking good. Just a shame we didn't have a few more acres of them this year, because they were flying. Interesting. Alright, that's interesting. Suppose it'll be a little bit of time before the wheat's ready. Yeah, I reckon Linseed will be next, but that's still a couple of days out at the very least. So we'll get some hay done, get some groundwork done, and maybe see about getting some muck spreaded as well, I think. Why, that's a good plan. Alright. Well, I'm gonna get on ready to go back. I'm finished here, and then we'll see what we can get ready for the morning. Radio? Okay, well, enjoy. I'll catch up with you in a bit. And just like that, everyone is done and alley here. I'm going to clear this field up slowly but surely as we just potter around, get used to everything. But yeah, all done before the dampness kicks in as well, which is really, really good. Like I say, these will get stuck just around the corner. Won't take us too long to do, all being told, I should hope, and then we'll be good. August is around the corner already, well, tomorrow in fact, and we'll be flying through with all of the groundwork we need to get going with. Keeping you up to date with beef movement as well, because we have got a few more coming in that we know of at the moment there, and then if we can get any more on top of that from our buyer, then we will, well, we'll be looking to do just that. So it's going to be a busy old month, and I think it's going to be a good month for us as well. So can't wait to bring you along for the ride to see what that looks like. So if you have any questions, do please feel free to stick them in the comment section down below, and I'll get back to you whenever we can. And then yeah, we'll bring you a bit more of this tractor as we get into the hay, and a bit more of the all-around work. But yeah, things are moving quickly now. Busy time of the year as always. Crazy season is upon us, so we'll just need to make sure that we capitalize on it, and then we'll be good to go. I'm really liking this Massey so far. From the, what will it be, 20 minutes work that we've done, it's great. Be looking forward to getting onto the road and just seeing how it handles on the road there with a 40k box with a good bale trailer on the back, which will be really interesting to see. So yeah, we'll let you know how we get on with it when that time comes. Until then though, we'll just keep ticking away, getting these loaded up here, and then yeah, we'll be good. Once we get all of the feeding up done in the morning, I'm sure cousin and uncle can start getting some more grass knocked down. The mows up here already. And so that's all good to go, and then they'll also start getting slurry out here as well, which would be great, because that tank over there is pretty full actually. So the more we can get out of there, the better it will be for everybody. And then yeah, we'll see. Must say, our telehandlers are great here, but this serves a purpose really. Saves us having to move a telehandler over from one place to another and then back again. We can just keep that here to get everything loaded up. So this is a welcome move, I have to say. And yeah, we will see how we get on with it. Right now though, I'm just going to keep going, get this all finished up, and we will see how we're looking in the morning. So you join me in the telehandler, which is going to take a couple of bales of straw back to the yard. We have been grouping them all up into two, so at some point tomorrow we can come and get them all loaded up there. We're just going to take a trip back down the tram line to avoid a bit of compaction here and there. It's coming to the end of the day there. Hasn't been as crazy as it could have been. A few jobs we've taken care of. Nothing fit the combine yet. A good few days away from that being the case. So just kind of getting on top of a few things. And then tomorrow, might get some hay bale tomorrow actually. Oh, hello there. But yeah, so Uncle's actually here at the yard at the moment there. He's tedding the last of the fields with the Massey. And then that's us all done for tedding for now. And then we'll see what it's like. It's been a lovely couple of drying days. Really, really has been. And today's been the best of them all. Really hot, with a nice breeze coming through there too. So hay is starting to look very, very good indeed. I'm not sure we'll have enough here, because we are going to be using it for both sheep and cattle this year, but we'll see. We're going to bale up what we've got now and then see what the fields look like after the fact. But silage wise, looking good. Everything's been stacked up there already, and then yeah, we should be good there. Now Uncle's just over there, turning around in the new Massey, and I'm going to stick the drone up and see how he's getting on this evening. So he's flying along there. That Massey's actually been really good so far. Very, very happy with it. We've all had a good go in it now. I loved it cotton bales. Nice and quick. Load is nice and responsive as well. With plenty of power in there for other jobs. So we'll probably have to use it for. It's going to be on the tanker a lot. It's going to be on the muck spreader a lot as well. And probably a plough, I think, as well. So it will get used around there. So it's going to be quite interesting for that. This evening, though, well, we're going to try and take advantage of it being relatively quiet. We've moved a lot of muck around, slurry around from the different tanks here, and we've put it into the tower. We've had the slurry separator on, so tomorrow we're going to start taking that away and some of the muck away down to Baling Manor Farm so we can get ready to get that spread and then ploughed there. The reason we're doing it that way around is because we want to plough that ground in. We're going to then stick a cover crop into there as well, so we can then leave that on its own to its own devices till the spring. We'll put spring barley in, much like we did with the other ground down there as well. And aside from a little bit of weed control early on, it's coming on great guns. Look at some of the calves in there, they're really kicking on. Some of the limousines are looking great. Really do like that. So yeah, but this evening, well, you know, we're just going to take advantage of the downtime. And we'll get ourselves ready to go. Looks like Uncle's got about one more pass left there, then he'll be scooting off back up to South Healy. And I'm just going to go and hook up the trailer here, and then we'll call it an evening, and we'll come back to you tomorrow, where it should be all systems go. Well, good morning. We are back in the Massey trailers all hooked up there. Everything's fed up. Bungle is away up to start helping out with some haymaking, I think, is his current plan. I'm not sure what's going to happen with the rest of that. That should be okay. But that's where he's gone, and I was just trying to load up here and made a bit of a mess, so I decided to move everything back to where it should be. So, idea being that once we get all this picked up at least, that we'll get this all led away down to Baling. We are going to try and get everything baled today. Most of it should be good. The stuff which is right in front of us here, that's going to take a little bit longer, so we'll see how the rest of the day is looking. And again, another nice drying day. We'll see what it's looking like. It'll be the last one to go if it does go, but we'll see. Anyway, they're all going to take care of that one. They're starting up at South Healy, that's where all the kit is anyway, so that makes sense. And then we'll go and see how they're getting on at some stage or another. But yeah, just trying to get this yard looking a bit more shipshape, a bit tidier as well, and see what we can do. But ultimately, we do have some more calves coming soon as well, actually. I just don't know if they're arriving today or if it's going to be tomorrow. But we're due for a few more down here, so we'll have to keep an eye on that one. There you go. But yeah, ultimately, everything's come along. Another nice, great day here. I was out checking the linseed there this morning. It's still not quite right. It's going to be a good couple of days, I think, still. But that's the only thing after that is wheat. And then actually some of the spring barley is starting to turn and look pretty good. So that was a pleasant surprise. So we'll, that's probably only about another week away. So typically what's likely going to happen is everything will come fit at the same time. And there'll be a mad dash to try and get it all done. And then clip the corner shed there. But we will see. We've just got to try and take advantage of this downtime really and do what we can. But it's never completely slow, dead in the water. There's always something to do. And we will see. But we're going to take this load away and we'll go and have a look at the fields there and see what the process is going to look like. So as you can see over there, all those lovely flowers have long since died away there. So that is a crop of linseed almost good to go. We've got a lot of muck and slurry that we need to put on the field to the left of us here as well. We might try and get another cut of hay off this field if it's worth it or not, I'm not sure. That's stalky grass in there, but you can see that's being thrown around there as well. So there's a bit to get going at. But yeah, we'll just have to see. But a lot of field work coming up for us soon, so we need to have that. We're trying to get a demonstration of a straw, like a stubble rake, just to see if we are thinking of leaning a little bit more towards the direct drill and approach. A stubble rake would be a good first point because it activates all the weeds and makes them start to grow through, so you can spray them all off there. So we're going to see if we can get a demo of one, just to see if it's actually going to be good for our needs or not. But we will, yeah, we'll just have to wait for that phone call to come through to see if we can get one. Ideally sooner rather than later, because we have so much that we want to get going with, you know. So we'll have to just see. Why have you stopped? You're being a good motorist, that's why. We're going to be coming through here a lot. We're not filling the trailers full, so aim being we don't leave any muck on the floor. But we'll have to wait and see how that goes. And then we should be all set. But yeah, just busy. Now we have been told that we're going to be able to get access to these grain sheds down here a little bit sooner than we thought, so we'll probably get the wheat tipped into here as well. But we're just going to start by dumping everything onto these two fields here, and then we'll see how we're looking. We'll probably keep everything separated a little bit, because we might be getting lime on here, we're not sure yet as well. Oh, the gate's shut. So what we could probably end up doing is spreading our separated manure on here, our regular box muck, and then also could well see a little bit more of the lime coming on as well. So we just need to wait to see. We're going to have our agronomist Holly's going to come down and run some soil tests on this with us, so we can just have a look, see. Field gateway's a bit rough on this end, we'll probably leave this. Fun fact, this field used to be like a rig and furrow field, so it was all over the place, which is why there's still a few bumps in it here and there, but it used to be, yeah, it used to be you couldn't farm it really from an arable standpoint. It used to be all over the place, furrows going all the way down towards the buildings there, but no longer. Alright, so up we go, stick this first load on the deck, try and get a few more in and see what that looks like for us for the day. And get that yard looking a bit more shipshape, I think. I'm going to run a few more backwards and forwards, and hopefully, all being well, we'll also be able to just go and have a quick look and see how we're getting on with the harvesting. I've got to probably take the trailer up there at some point so they can start to get everything led away. That looks like we are good. And then, yeah, we should be able to move on. But yeah, lots to do. Ground's not too bad there either, actually, so that should be fine. Just got to keep on carting. Well, folks, we are on to the separated manure now, getting as much of that out as we can. We're going to have to get a bit more muck down here as well, but that won't be a problem. But we do have to rush back now because apparently there's a delivery of some cattle arriving, which I wasn't expecting, but here you go. Bungles with some magic somewhere, it seems. So we need to get back and make sure that we can get those into the right sheds, and then wait for the lorry driver to come there. So we'll get on with that one. A little bit of an interruption, but it shouldn't take us too long. By the sounds of things as well, they're nearly finished baling hay up north, or up at South Ely, sorry, so we'll be seeing some action towards our way with that, all being well. But let's get ourselves up there. I think we've only got about a dozen cattle coming at the moment there, just a little bit older. I think these are about 7 or 8 months old, so we've got a little bit about them. We'll just finish them off as well, so we'll see how that goes. But more limousines coming into the herd. Just take our way through there slowly. So yeah, right now we're looking to get about another 30 or so down at Moor Farm here. And we'll have to see what we can do, but that's the hope. Just we'll keep getting them in as and when we can from our buyer, really. He's doing a great job for us. Really found some great looking stock of late, so that's fantastic. So hopefully these lot will be much of the same. We're not anywhere in the position of the scale or anything like that where we need our own truck to do it. We just mostly do it through our through either our own stock trailer, or for instances like this when they're coming a little bit further afield, they'll be just pulled up by somebody else. I wonder if he's here or not. Let's go and have a quick look, see. We'll park somewhere relatively out the way. Well, we've beaten back, so we'll just get this loaded up anyway whilst we can, and then we'll see what's happening. We're not filling these trailers very full because this stuff is a little bit wetter, so it does have a tendency to want to come out the back. Ideally, we'd love to get a bigger trailer, dump trailer with a door on the back end of it, but I don't see that happening, to be honest. Not anytime soon, that's for sure. But we'll just continue with what we've got, and we will make it work. We need to get ourselves squeezed into here again. Separator is back on again, because we did move a bit of slurry over from the tanks into the tower there, so it'll be good to see what impact that has. And probably leave it on overnight there, and then this will nearly be full again by the morning, I would imagine. So how good it is. Alright, well, I think that's pretty much good to go there. See where this truck driver is, I suppose, and wait for him to show up. We'll stick this around the corner in the hay shed. That's nicely out of the way. So Bungalow's over at Southeast. Mona, there's a couple of other fields that we didn't knock down, so he's trying to do that one. His Massey wouldn't start this morning, so we had to wait for that one to get figured out, but that's always fun. We're having a delightful time with tractors at the minute, but hopefully that's going to be resolved and be the end of those issues. That would be swell. We'll just get ourselves back up here out of the way, I think, see where this guy is. Oh, speak of the devil. There he is. Wonderful. Let's get him all sorted out then. Just push yourself back out of the way here, and then we can keep on going, hopefully. Alright, there he is. Nice new truck. Alright, so we've got 12 of the finest, apparently. I don't know how they're going to get the top ones down there, but that will be something that he can do. And we'll get these all loaded in and see how it's looking. Alright, so another 12 in there, looking good. We do need to shift this, hang this gate the other way, because right now it does open up that way. So we have to chase him down there and then shut this and then open it up and bring him back in. Anyway, truck driver is just turning himself around and should be coming out very soon. It sounds like he's coming there now. So we'll let him get on, and then we can go and get on with a few more loads here as well. And then we should be good to see ourselves through. So that's going to be us for most of the afternoon, I would reckon, and we'll see how it goes. But cattle are always coming in here, slowly but surely, adding to as many as we can, which is always important. And yeah, we will see where we go. Alright, he's off. He's away. We'll let him get out of the way before we do anything else. Sheep are looking good. A few people were wondering about what we're going to do with the sheep. We're going to keep them as they are. It is a good additional revenue income source there as well, so we'll keep that. But mainly focusing on beef now, so we're really trying to up those numbers and make sure that we can. There's a few different ages in here at the moment. They're going to get sorted out when we get the space, but we just need to get onto that one. And he stopped. Let's have a look, see what's going on there, but maybe he's doing paperwork, I don't know, but he's not going to be at the park there, because I need to get out. We've got to get going, so we're going to take this one away, and then we'll see how we get on. Alright, load number 2 done, and again, another phone call coming through. This time, we have a load of seeds that is ready to pick up there, and there's no wagon driver available apparently, so we're off with the tractor and trailer to go and get that, and apparently can't wait, so we need to go and do that now. So, off I go again, and hopefully, we'll try and get everything done eventually, but yeah. Next up is going to pick up the flatbed trailer, and then we'll get going. Alright, trailer swapped around for the second time, and we are going to be off. There you go. That building on the left there, that is going to hopefully get knocked down in the winter. We're going to try and get another calf building in there if we can, so we can have a little bit more order and structure as to how the beef are stored and housed. So we're going to look into that one there, and it's because it does nothing for us at the moment. It's too small to put any gear into, and it's just not good enough. So we'll have a look into that and see. But yeah, that's going to be a project for the winter months, hopefully, all being well. But anyway, let's get ourselves away. So we are going to pick up a mixture of seeds, really. This is going to be the winter barley seed. There'll be a bit of wheat there, I think, as well. And then there's also going to be the seed for our cover crop. That will be establishing and getting put into the new ground. Oh, and it looks like there goes Uncle. This is going to be tight. Hello. Oh, it's a good job. I'll move over. Just squeeze past him there. Get himself away. Perfect. Lovely stuff. I don't know why in the bigger tractor I had to move over, but you know, Uncle works in mysterious ways. So we'll head off and we'll go and get this all sorted out. we're going to try and get a few bits and pieces done there, but it's just a bit all over the place right now. So I know they don't like us filming necessarily over there, so we'll probably just get going and get cracking with it and pick up what we need to, and then hopefully try and get back and get a bit more muck carted away there too. Next few days we'll get these bales of hay cleared that we're working on, and then next job will be slurry on the fields, and hopefully after that then we can start to get the plough out, get some field work done as well. So
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my farming life.
oh, you join me, we're carting linseed today. Bungle is captaining the combine, just for a change up there, and I'm going to be taking the trailer back over to him because he can probably get everything in. This is the best part of a 16-ton trailer really, so what he's got left to do, he should easily get it all into there. So what we're going to do is just take this away, park it up, and then we'll leave him to do his thing, because I got hay to stack. I've got cousin coming down soon with with our new tractor and trailer, or our new Massey at least, and then I've got bags of seed to unload from the other day there still, because I need that trailer back, so lots to do, but we will get going. It looks like Bungle's still ticking along over here, which is good. So I'm just going to park this up in the trailer and we'll leave him to get on with it there really. Like I say, not a great deal left for him, and he can just keep pushing his way through. This gateway is a pain in this trailer, I've got to say. The trailer's a little bit long. I'm very tempted over the winter here, oh you see I haven't even got that one right, to get rid of this gate here. It does just become a little bit of a problem. You've got to really just hit it on the angle. Anyway, we're through. We're coming through the combine as well. It's not fun either, I have to say. But anyway, let's just park ourselves up right here, and then he can just come and fill up as and when he needs to. Now you'll see we are baling the straw here. It's not something that we were originally going to do, and it's probably not something that we'd look to use, but straw value is going up and up and up, and we didn't get as much as we would have hoped off some of the barley fields. So we're going to bale up this linseed straw. This will be the straw that we probably aim to sell if we need to. We always like to have something that we can give away and sell, just so we have a bit of an extra source of income, but you know, we'll see. Yields haven't been that great. We're going to rely a lot on the spring barley straw. A couple of fields of wheat over at South Healy to go. There's a spring barley around the beat over there, and of course the land over at Baling Manor as well. So we'll have to get into that one. But for now, at least, we're just going to continue with what we do have, and then we'll see. But otherwise, you know, we're looking good. There's a few little updates in the yard here to have a look at, and then we're actually going to take out the classic. We're going to take out the 7810. Everything's been fed up today. So we're going to take that one out, and we're going to cart in these twos and just drop them in the yard, so we can actually get something stacked up, because I want to get these fields cleared so we can get some slurry thrown down on them again. That's going to be pretty important for us to do, and we can see where that's going. But yeah, there's muck to shift, because there always is. That's all going to go down to Baling again, and then yeah, this is the seed that we brought back the other day. The forwards on it hasn't been pulling it very far, but it's going to just shift out of the way so we can get it stacked up somewhere. And then this yard's going to be full of bales of hay before you know it. I think the seed's probably going to have to go into there as well, actually. But it is what it is. Now, this big blue rake here, this is the stubble rake that I was telling you about. It's not ours. We're just demoing it, really, to see if it's going to work. It is a Landstuhl, which one would assume is German. But it is, yeah, the idea is, well, we'll get into that a little bit later there. But we're going to give it a go. Once we get some more progress here, we'll be good. And we'll see how we go. But first things first, let's just move this out of the way. Just going to want to creep forward here and get us into a place where we can actually unload this. And then we should be good. All of the power. I'm not missing any of it here. That's what we'll do. So on here we have our barley seed, and there's also a little bit of cover crop seed as well for the new ground, but we'll start with it anyway and see how we get going. So you can see I've got the barley there. It's a brand called Valerie. Why don't you come on over, Valerie? And then this is our cover crop seed. So we need to put this in somewhere. We'll likely be using the cover crop seed first, I think. So I might just kick that back a bit more. Make it a little bit easier to grab onto. That's perfect. Alright, let's see how that goes. I got a bit of an issue with the lights on here. They're not working at the moment. I think we've got a fuse out somewhere, but none of my headlights are working. The issues with tractors, we need to get on top of our servicing a bit more soon just to get everything going. Bungle's massey's all fine now though. I know there was a bit of an issue with that not starting, but that's all good. And it's on the slurry bowers around the corner there because Cousin's going to come down. They've cleared up their hay, so they're going to take away our tractor with the tanker on and leave their the front loader tractor here for me just to get a bit more done. So that's the plan at least. I can't really see here, so we'll just see how that goes. Have we got two? No. There we go. So we'll stick these down one side for now. It's not ideal, but we don't really have anywhere else because the machine shed there is full of stuff and we'll need to get in and out there as well. So we'll just stick these down this side and the bales of hay can go the other way. If this was fertilizer, we wouldn't be able to do this because you can't stick that in next to anything combustible, but because it's seed, we'll be grand, and we can just utilize this space for now. And then we'll have to find something a little bit more of a concrete option. And like I say, the cover crop seed will be going out fairly soon anyway, so that shouldn't be a problem. Let's time that one. But yeah, let's just get this all taken out here. And then we can get this all done. Get this trailer probably just dumped in the field actually, I think. Because we'll be filling it up and then we can go from there. So yeah, Bungle is sitting away on the combine there today. He likes to cut a couple of days in there a season to get going, and I don't typically enjoy harvesting linseed from what we've done of it so far, so that felt like a good change. Linseed's the right pain to put through the combine sometimes there, and the straw's not great to bale either, so I'm quite pleased not to be doing any of that. And we'll just let Cousin and Bungle get on with that respectively. But yeah, it's in at least. You know, that is the last bit we've done. We've already done the bit about South Healy, that's all good, so we're really flying through in that respect, which is good news. So very, very pleased about that. So all being well, give it another couple of days, the wheat will be looking great, and then we can get flying on that front too, because that will just really kickstart our harvest. Then we're into spring barley. That's going to be the biggest bulk of things for this year. And harvest so far, a little bit of spotty rain here and there, but it's been okay. It's been manageable. We've certainly had a lot worse, put it that way. So hopefully that will continue to be the case. Okay, we'll stick that about there. There you go. And then we'll get the rest of these cleared. So we'll get all these off, and then we will continue to move some gear around. Okay, so we are done. Where did I leave my bale fork? I'm going to need that. Oh, it's on the other side of the bales there, I do believe. So what we're going to do is just shift this flatbed trailer somewhere, and then we're going to put the little two bale spike onto the back of the Ford, so we get a little bit done with that. Whilst we wait for the Massey to arrive, just makes it a little bit easier, really. So we'll just stick this into here for now. Aim to get as many bales pulled back in as we can, and we'll take it from there. And this, like I say, I think we will go and stick this one just down away in the field that we have leased for the time being. It's got quite a lot more bales in, and like I say, up here there's enough going on up here. We can just get all those rattled in. I think it's not too far away. The Bungle's flying along over there, making some good progress. So after the linseed there, that's going to go into wheat, and then we will be... I can't get away from the idea of wanting to put a little bit more oilseed rape back into the ground, but it's just going to be an absolute pain. And right now, because there's so little of it being produced, the cost is looking really good. But the hardship of trying to grow this stuff is just not worth it. So that's the battle I'm having. You'll see the fields on the left and the right. Oh, sorry, on the left right here has a lot of weeds in it right now. That's good. We wanted that because we're going to try and direct drill that one as well. So we'll be looking into that, and what we want is ideally the weeds to come through now, so you can treat them before you jump on in with any seed, really. So that's all good news. We'll take that. Okay. God, I haven't been bale carting with this tractor in a long time. Heavens. All of the power and all of the masses we have here, and I'm stuck in the Ford dropping the trailer off. Good lord. Anyhow, I'm going to stick this here. And then we'll probably bring that massive down when it gets here, whenever that might be. But yeah, let's just get this dropped off for now. What a hauling rig though, eh? Just incredible. Shame it's not built for speed. Alright, so quick change round and we're ready to go here pretty much. What we do need to do is see how we get on, make sure we're all good and lined up. That'll do us. Excellent stuff. We'll get these all carted in. We'll just get ourselves going with it all, I reckon. Alright, so we are clearing a little bit of space. It's coming along quite nicely. I'm going to try and almost block in this telehandler here a little bit. And then we can just get everything stacked up there nice and easily. That should do the trick. Bungle looks like he's just about finished now, so I'm going to empty out the tanks before there, which is good. And it looks like he's probably just on the last row or two down there. And nope, there he is. Wonderful stuff. Let's get Cousin sorted out in the way, and I will be all good to go here. And there he goes, just like that. He's abandoned one, and he's gone out in the other one. He's got a lot to go and get cracking on with, so no time for him to stop, which is fine. We've got well, maybe another 5 or 6 loads to get through in here. And then, yeah, maybe I might just get Bungle to do this once he's finished up, because it looks like I say, he's nearly wrapped up over there. And then I will go and just jump on and get cracking. But good chance to get a few jobs done today, which is what we need occasionally, days like this. It's always important. Get these fields cleared. Once they finish with the tanker at the top there, we'll bring it back down here and we'll get these fields done as well. So, and then hopefully, yeah, like I said, it's middle of August now, so hopefully early September we might get a third cut of something. Probably haylage, I'd say, at this stage, but you know, we'll see. But yeah, it's all coming together quite nicely indeed. Yeah, so we'll probably just part this up for now. Whilst that tractor and trailer's there, we'll go and take that one down to the field, get it loaded up, and see what we can get done over there as well, I suppose. So we've now got ourselves a little bale spike for the front of this as well, just a nice and simple thing, just so it makes a little bit more versatility really for the use of the front loader. So when we can cart straw away from the new ground, for example, there, it's just we don't have to drag a telehandler down there to do so, which would be quite handy. Didn't think he was going to bring this trailer, but now that we have it, we will try and make use of it there. That was a heck of a piece of reversing. Alright, well, onwards we go then. Like I said though previously, lovely little loader tractor, this one actually. Well, not a small loader tractor by any stage, 140 horse, but it's good, it's nippy, it's comfortable. and it's handy for what we need for sure. So onwards we go, then I guess. Perfect. And we are just going to snip into here, get these loaded up. We'll probably put load onto this trailer first, I'd imagine. Well, we'll see how it goes, but we'll get ourselves all set up and away anyway. I really do think as well, if we didn't have this block of grass here, we would have been a bit tight in places for some of our fodder, especially because we can now get a third cut off here as well. It would be nice to have another pit, especially with what we're looking into doing now with our current plans. Having that extra space would be pretty ideal, but we'll have to maybe look into that one and see. We haven't really got any space for a larger sized pit at the moment, but we'll have to see. Alright, let's stack some bales up here, shall we? In fact, these ones are right ahead of me and the trailer's right over there, so that's where we're going to go. No need to really go too high with these. Oh, and that looks like there goes Bungle. He must be done. He's off and away to with the last of the grain now. Still can't tip that in our grain shed yet down at Baling Manor Farm, but hopefully soon. And that will be a real big change up there, because right now we're selling at a price which is not ideal, but we just don't have any floor space, so it has to be done. So we'll see. Hopefully we'll be able to capitalize on having the storage opportunities that we can sell when we want to sell. You know, become a bit more of a seller's market than a buyer's market, really. So we'll see. But yeah, that's all part of the bigger plan, really. A lot of work to do on that over the course of the coming couple of weeks, because there's a lot of field work coming up for me, that's for sure. As we start to get everything going there, that is a bit more my remit, as many of you know. Less from the livestock, more from the arable side of things, just to make sure that's all taken care of. So need to get on with that. But then that all helps out with the livestock side of things as well. So it's all working in harmony, really. Oh, that was a bit of a rough one. Alright, well, we're going to get this all loaded up anyway, and then we will carry on clearing and stacking for the rest of the afternoon, I think. So it should be quite good. Thank you very much for watching as always. I hope you have enjoyed. Do leave any comments, questions or feedback down below, and we'll see how we get on. It has been a busy couple of days. Wheat harvest is done. We only had a few fields to do, but we have finished the wheat. We've finished the linseed. All we have left now is spring barley, and then this little field of beans here. Now, spring barley is next to go. It's not quite ready. It's about 8 o'clock this evening. We won't get anything done tonight, and it won't be ready for tomorrow, I don't think, either, because there's going to be a little bit of rain over the evening. So we're going to just take the combine down to Manor Farm, park it up by the field there. We're going to get picked up and brought home for the evening. And we've got a lime contractor in today who has started to spread some lime on the fields that we've taken over. And then I think tomorrow we're going to be doing a bit of field work around that, getting those fields up to scratch. Uncle and cousin are going to come down. Bungle's going to be spreading slurry, I think, on the hay ground still. He started, but he's got a little bit left to go at. So he's going to get going with that. And then we are going to, try and get some soil turned over, get those fields reset so we can get a cover crop put into them pretty quickly. And then from there, as I just squeeze through here, it's always tight. From there, those fields are done until spring. So that's the aim, because we're going to have to start drilling some of our own cereal crops for next year. Because we are at end of August, so it's coming. Time is certainly coming. Alright, we're moving the combine now, because as you can see, the roads are pretty quiet. And it's working out quite nicely in our favour. So we'll just get this taken on over while we can. And then, we should be good. Combine has been singing so far, no real issues at all, which is great. And we're just going to, like I say, park it out the way for now, because we're not going to need it. We're not going to have to use it at all. But yeah, big old kitten being hired by the lime contractor today. As you can see, his loading shovels there. But he's around here somewhere. I'm not sure quite where he's working at, but he is getting on. It's pushing on. It's about 7 o'clock this evening, so they're gonna get all this done today apparently, which means that they're gonna be busy because they've got one field left to go. Now there's an awfully large spread reach on this thing, so it shouldn't take too long. Okay. Turn that in there. This is going to be tight. Too tight. Back a little bit if I can. Oh, I'd love to do it. Alright, that's us in. And it seems like there's the buggy in the foreground, cracking along. Huge loading shovel, like I say, very impressive. And then they'll be done. So yeah, this field, the field behind the shed there, and this one getting lime, and then we'll spread as much muck as we can. We'll probably just focus on this field for now. We'll get as much spread in here as we can, because it's going into cover crop. We can always come back on in when there's a hard frost at some point and put some more on the other two fields as and when we get it. But right now, yeah, we'll just have to spread a bit conservatively around what we have. There's that big buggy thing, it's back again. It's the one that we hired in to do some of the other ground last autumn. But yeah, covers some land that does in a given hour. Okay. I assume we're okay there, because I can't see to say any other way. And yes, this is the last real chunk that we've got to go out up here. Big little chunk of spring barley, 3 fields. One of which was 2 fields knocked into one. And we'll get that one, that's the one on the right as we look at it here. But I think, based off how they were looking at least, the first one we'll be going at is on the left here. But for now, we're just going to part this one with a wee strip of grass up the side here we'll put this into. So we just climb up here, steadily does it. Excellent, and yeah, we'll just lunge this over here. And then we'll leave it here. We don't need to be doing any more this evening. It's out of the way, and we'll come back to this when we're ready to get going. But yeah, it's looking pretty good, I must say. So this, if you will recall, is exactly the same process that we're going to be taking with the new ground here. So it was cover crop, and then had lime, a little bit of muck spread onto it as well. Just knock off those lights and the beacons. There you go, and combine parked up for the night. So lime, cover crop, and then direct drilled as well. So for our first direct drilled crop, I'm very happy with how this is looking, I've got to say. Really pleased with it. So it's a lot to think about really for us. Now we're still going to keep our combination the combination drill in rotation, and the conventional method for drilling. But yeah, certainly something to think about there. But yeah, we will come and see how we get on with it over the course of the next few days and see what those yields look like. It will all be getting tipped straight on into the shed. We could have tipped wheat there, but to be honest, it wasn't a great deal, so the yields weren't all that strong. But yeah, this is looking promising. So main thing that we really need here as well is straw. We are low on straw right now, so we have to think about how we work that, and hopefully we'll get enough off here just to see us through. Because it's not looking great. We thought the linseed straw would be something we could sell, but in actuality it might be something we need to keep. But anyway, we're going to see how we get on. We'll let these guys just keep on cracking through and spreading lime, and then we'll be in this field some point tomorrow, I hope, making trying to transform it and make it into something a bit more reliable and sustainable. Well folks, hello and welcome back. You'll see it's a busy start to the day today. Bungle is out in his Massey. He is spreading slurry on the last of the hay ground around the farm here. So that'll be him for most of the day. I have got Uncle behind me in the trusty 3125. He's out with a 4-furrow plough. He could have used the 5-furrow and the 6480, but he chose to stick with his firm favourite. I'm in my 76, and cousin is out baling wheat straw today, so we're getting a lot done. It did rain a little bit last night, as expected, so the forecasters were bob on for once. So it is unlikely that we'll get any wheat cut for a couple of, or spring barley cut for a couple of days now. Les checked it last night after parking up the combine, and it was still 21-22%. So with rain on there, yeah, it'll be a few days until we get into it, but that's fine. It means that we can get going. The lime spreaders finished last night. Must have been late by the time they finished, but they're done. All in all means that we'll be able to get cracking along there, get some muck spread. I've got a spread a load here as well, and then we'll get cracking on and see how far we can make it last and see what that'll look like for us down there. And Uncle will get on ploughing in directly behind us, which will be good and much needed, and we'll be all good to go. Now we're just going to head on over there. I've already taken the telehandler down today, and this will just be our opportunity to get caught up a little bit. There's a lot of field work that we need to get going with actually, so we really start to think about getting the barley in the ground that we need to. So yeah, lots to do, lots to keep us busy, but we'll see how we get set up. I'm going to probably get a bit of a start here, get the GPS all set up, get a few runs spread just so I can get ahead of Uncle, give him some room to get working with, that kind of thing. There's the telehandler, and yeah, we've got plenty of ground to run at. These two piles here won't cover everything by any stretch at all, but they'll give us a bit of a head start. Like if we can get one field fully covered, that'd be great. And then as we get some hard conditions over the course of October, November, because this will be a cover crop, we can drive on it to spread any muck on if we need to. That's not a problem at all. and we'll probably end up getting that done, I would imagine. So let's I'm gonna get everything set up here, get my GPS in place, and then we'll wait for Uncle to arrive and get going. Alright, and well, we are making a little bit of progress here. Uncle's cracking along through. This field, we got these 3 fields tested, and they are absolutely tanking for nitrogen. pH level wasn't too bad, so just need a little bit of a boost up to get that back into the green, really. But otherwise, nitrogen is through the floor. Right now, we are putting on, based off of the test that we did there, we're putting on about as close to 8 tons a hectare of manure here, just so we can try and bring that back up, and we will be putting more on at a later time as well. So there's a lot going in here. Now what we're going to do is get ourselves away here again, get the next spreader going, and there we are. What a team! So we are, like I said, we're going to get a bit ahead here. I'll be fine to stay ahead. I'm spreading about 9 meters rich here, so we are going to just let him keep cracking along there. He's making some good progress. Plow's in good nick, good order, and it's turning everything over nicely. Depending upon how we get on, we might see a little bit of one of these other fields done as well, which would be nice. But like I said, there's no real drama. We just get spread what we can, then we'll keep coming back to this. We are going to probably try and get some slurry onto this as well during the winter. Where we can as well, just to help reduce down the levels in the tower, but also just to try and get this back into a shape where we want it. Now don't get me wrong, the putting the cover crop in here will also help as well, and that'll allow us to get a little bit ahead of ourselves. But all of these little things really you've just got to try and do to bring everything back up to scratch, because it certainly isn't there right now. Sticking along through there. Now this may well be one of the last times we actually plough these fields. We're calling this as like a bit of a reset for us, really. But we'll go in and we'll plough it over once there. We'll see if there's any big stones that we need to remove, but we'll put a whole load of manure in, and then cover crop, and then direct drilling on top of that one. So hopefully, yeah, we should be good. It's a new approach to our practice that we're bringing in here, so we'll see how we get on with it. But I'm liking it. It lowers certain costs, which is great. And that allows us to be to control those inputs a little bit more. Alright, let's get this refilled, I think. And we can still work within ourselves here and keep out of each other's way nice and easily. This little bit on the edge here is quite bumpy, which is why we've decided we're going to put it probably into about I think it's 18 meter pass, or like an SFI mix, a wild bird seed mix, that kind of stuff. So we'll be looking into that one. What we're going to do is make this a little bit easier. That'll do it. We'll get this loaded up nice and quickly. Ideally, we would like to maybe find another, or hire in another spreader, but just today it's not going to work. We knew that we're going to have bits and pieces to do all over the shop, really, and it made sense for Cousin to get ahead with the baling up at the other end, and then you can get those all carted up as well. Right now there will be a lot more bales over at South Healy than there will be down here, actually, which we need to address. Hopefully that spring barley, there's a lot relying on that spring barley this year, let me tell you. Because I want to avoid where possible having to buy any bales in, because Lord knows they're expensive. But anyway, let's get this all loaded up, and we'll get back onto spreading. And well, folks, there you have it. We are going to be busy. I'm ahead again. I'm just going to go and fill up one more time. But we're grinding through. We're getting a bit of work done. Combine's still over on the hill there. Hopefully in the next couple of days, if the weather stays like this at least, we'll be flying and we'll get the start of spring barley done. But we've got lots to do today, so lots to keep cracking with, and we will keep doing that one. Hopefully next time you see us, we'll have made some real strong progress here, and we'll can't wait to bring you along to see how that goes. For now though, I'm going to jump back on in and get out of Uncle's way, I think, and just keep spreading, because there's, Lord knows, there's lots to do. You join me from inside the New Holland Combine as we are at the spring barley, which is the final but one crop for the year. We'll feel the spring beans are going to take some time to come around, but we are making some good inroads. It's a beautiful start to the day, and I am just taking off the headland for the second field. We started actually in the very small field, which is just over the hedges there, primarily because I just had the most sun in it. It's sloping, southward facing, and these two fields had a little bit of wetter crop over at the top end there. So we started on that one. We got it all done and dusted. And now we are cracking through with this larger field actually, which would be good to get done. Yields so far I don't think are too bad. We'll have to wait and see what it's all looking like when we load it out, because we don't have any weigh bridges down here. We're tipping it into the shed down here at Baling, so we'll have a look at that when we get around to it. But yeah, it's busy down here today. We've got 3 out of 4 of us in here, which is why I'm unloading and driving the tractor and trailer myself. But we have both Uncle and Bungler here on plows. They're cracking along trying to get some ground covered, and hopefully they are able to do that. But yeah, we're just trying to, everything was spread with muck, everything was done, so we're just trying to make the most of that right now. And there goes another train. Busy line, that one actually there, really busy line. We're just trying to get everything turned over, so as soon as we finish with this week we can get some cover crops drilled and that, and then essentially those fields done for now. We don't need to touch them again until the springtime. But right now at least, crop wise looking good. We were looking at around about 14% when we got into this field today, which is fantastic. Like I say, yields look pretty good. This is hopefully, if they pass the test, this is all going away to make some lager somewhere or another, which will be great to see. And yeah, it's looking good. We are baling the straw off here as well, because we are short on straw, so we really do need a good crop here just to kind of see us through, because a little bit thin in places, which I wasn't too pleased about. But just with crop rotations and some of the poorer weather that we had at the start, straw wasn't all that great. So we're doing what we can with this, and we'll see how we get on. I'm just going to stick that away now. I don't need that auger out. And yeah, we're making some good progress. We won't get everything done today. We should hopefully get this field done, and then we'll move on over just through over there. But I've got the 6480 on the grain trailer, and then cousin right now is over at South Healy, so he's got a bit of work to do over there with some cattle, and he's still feeding up. So he'll hopefully come and join us later on this afternoon to jump onto the grain trailer for me, and then we can just keep going this a little bit faster. But really not in too much of a rush today. Weather's looking good. There's no signs of any rain on the horizon for us for a few days actually, which would be great, so we can get this all cleared and then baled as well. Crop's not too green in the bottom there, so it should bale up pretty quickly. Not too damp at all, which is always what you want to see. But yeah, this is the field. If you may remember, if you've been watching for long enough, you've seen that this was 2 fields when we took over this ground, and we put it back into 1. There's a hedge or a fence line actually just to my right here, so where that tree is really, that's where it ran across. So there's a little bit of a dip there, which is to be expected I suppose, but it's not looking all too bad actually, I would say. Not looking too bad at all. We've just got to get another headland off here, and then we'll start to really make some inroads into this field and see how it's all coming together. And we should be good. Uncle was able to get that first field he was in ploughed over. And then I finished with the muck spreading there not so long ago, and it actually did okay. We got further than I thought we would with it all. Didn't get everything covered there. I thought that was going to be a bit too much to expect. But yeah, I was relatively pleased with it. So we'll see if that continues. We'll have to see how we get on. There's Bungle there in my Massey. But yeah, we got the field that he's in there, the big field. We got probably about, I don't know, 2/3 the way through it. 2/3 would be about right, I think. Yeah, and then we ran out. So we'll get that caught up there when we have the opportunities throughout the frosty days in the winter. And then you can see Uncle out in the 5S, and he is working away there with the 4-furrow plough. These fields won't get ploughed over again for a while after today. There'll be cover crop, and then they will be direct drilled after that. So this is just us kind of having a bit of a reset, ploughing in the lime and the manure that we spread across there, and then that'll be them good. Hopefully, at least that's what we want to see. And then whilst it's great to get them ploughing and get them all worked over there, God, it's an expensive hobby to keep up with that, with the metals on the plough and the diesel. It's costs a lot of money. So if we can afford to not do that and maybe pursue some different approaches, then I'm all for it. But we'll have to see how that goes. Anyway, right now we're just going to keep ticking along. We're looking pretty good in the back there, with maybe about a third full. Let's stick an eye on what we're doing at the front here. It's the second headland just about done. There we go. Managed to get those gates hung properly as well, because they were starting to get damaged because they were dragging off the ground and they weren't square. So we did a bit of work with that not so long ago, which is good. And hopefully, like I say, we'll see plentiful bales off of here, and we'll get them all carted over to Moor Farm where they can all stay. There's this field and there's one over the hedge there to do as well, and that should be us. And there goes another train along that line heading to Newcastle. Actually surprised, because these fields weren't in great shape when we took them over, and it's from here at least it's looking pretty good. Of course, like I say, we'll have to wait and see just how the yield turns out, but yeah, I'm fairly happy with it right now. That chime means we're at 50%, so half full. It's not looking too bad. And then we can really start to put a little bit more work into these as well. Really get them going for what we need, and make the most out of this land. We will, where possible, be trying to get a bit more muck onto here, or slurry, depending upon what we have the most of. We spread quite a bit of slurry yesterday, so there's not a great deal of that around yet. But we'll, I think the main tank at Moor Farm is at about 50% now. So still a little bit we could get going with if we really have to. All the hay ground's been done though, which is good. It's really, really good. Okay, it's a little bit thinner around this tram line, obviously, but hopefully once we get it into that, it's looking pretty appetizing. Alright, well, we just had to successfully navigate a tree, which is always fun. Apologies to Cousin for that. But there's this bungle flying along over there. He didn't want to do any combine driving. He wanted to leave that. He just wants to see what the ground looks like as he gets through it, and see how we progress. So fair play to him. That's exactly what he's going to do. And then, well, try and wrestle a plough, that 4-furrow plough off Uncle if you can. Good luck, he'll be stuck to it. But yeah, he's liking the 5S though. 5S has kind of been, well, that's being promoted to the plough there, I'd say, because the 3125 is now more the feeder wagon over at South Healy these days. And then the 6480 is a bit of everything. So yeah, we'll see how we get on, but for now at least that's looking pretty good. A little bit patchy around the trees there as well across that fence line. We did say when we were taking the fence line out that we would leave the trees, so that's to be expected. We'll just probably not drill quite so close up to those in the coming crop. Now these 3 fields here are destined to go to oats next as part of our rotation, so we'll be getting those drilled up pretty soon. Actually, it's going to be a busy month of September to get all of this done, but we will see. Alright, now if we go up to there, we're looking very good for the yield, for the hopper, sorry, so we should be fine there. We'll just see how we go. Yeah, some point patchy, some point really good. Hopefully it'll show really well as we get into the thick of it. But yeah, concerned that we haven't had too many unloads of the tank yet. I would like to have seen a few more, but maybe it's getting into the headlands there. But also as well, for these fields, for this time of this year, the straw is going to be more important than I thought it would be, just because of the cost of buying that in. So we will see how it goes. Right now, I'm happy. We'll start to take some rows off here. and see what it's looking like, and then once we get this trailer relatively full, we're going to take a spin down to the dryer and show you how that's looking as well. Alright, and so it's not full, it's probably about 75%, but we are unloading this out through the tail door, so it's through the grain door on the tail there, so it's a little bit slow, so we'll just, well, we'll leave this here for now. And then, yeah, we'll go and take this away. Getting some progress into it anyway. Happy with the start. And crucially as well, it is not a it's not a particularly long draw, so I'm happy with that. There you go. All right. Nice little bit of power on here. It's a little bit loud, this tractor actually. The exhaust is pretty wild on it, but we will it's alright. It handles this trailer a lot better than the 5S does anyway, put it that way. So that's the one reason why we want to use this one. And we'll probably keep using it as well when we get onto the road if we need to. But we'll go this gateway, it's a little easier. There you go, round about. Okay. So yeah, like I say, one last field to go into there. That looks pretty good as well. Again, we'll see if it's if the yield matches the appearance, I suppose. But we'll have a look into that one. And down we go. Yeah, look at them. Both very, very happy plowing away there. Delightful. Now this yard's a little bit tight. I will say that. It's got that going for it. With this larger grain trailer, we have to do a little bit of reversing around. But to get in, at least we're okay. Go up here. Yeah, Bungle maybe not quite halfway through, but he's certainly getting close. Okay, let's see what we're looking like here. And then we'll have a bit of a walk around the dryer here as this is unloading, because this will take a little bit of time. But we'll get her away anyhow. Looking good there, and just a shade further back there, I think. Let's have a look at that before we go any further. Oh, magic! Look at that, nailed it. On what made my third attempt there, I think. Absolutely perfect. All right, let's get this unloaded then. All right then, let's have a look. See then, that is going to slowly load into the grate there. Doors open already. Happy days. Not hitting the roof. 10 points for me. Delightful. And we will just leave that to do its thing. It will load in there. It can probably take it a little bit faster, but that's just the easiest way to get it in for now. Because otherwise we'll have to do a little bit cunning with the door. But we'll see. There is Bungle flying along, frankly. Look at that Massey. Absolutely superb. What a treat for him. Absolute treat. Ooh, I don't like what you're doing there, Bungle. I'm going to look away before he breaks my plough. That's why you don't let him drive it too much. Anyhow. Sometimes you just can't teach them. Anyway, so what's going on in this shed? Well, let's go and have a look, shall we? We'll probably get a little bit more joy going in. Oh, look at it, we just emptied actually. Perfect. Won't be too much longer. We will just pop around here. We could use the shed apparently if we want to as well. We don't have the need to right now, but as we start to get these 3 fields and the 3 over there going, if it's going with maybe, you know, wheat or something, there might be a need to put straw in there. But for right now, we are good. That's the workshop. I don't need to worry too much about that. Inside of here, you got your grain dryer, which we're just feeding into there now, and then these 3 giant big grain bins as well. It doesn't really need to go through the grain dryer today. It's dry enough, but what we will do is run it through just to clean it more than anything else, to give us a better sample, and then we will send that sample away to go and get tested to make sure it's all looking good. And then hopefully, when it gets the green light and comes back, it will be good and we will be sending it away. So that'll be great. Now, what we could do is store it here for a long time. We've got an auger on the back here that we can load trailers or wagons out with as well, which would be great. So might be able to speed things up a little bit for us there too. But that's it. That's going to be me really cracking on for the rest of the day. We'll we'll see how we get going there. Now, like I say, this is just a little bit tight around here, so we've just got to take our time going back over, kind of reverse back on up the road a shade there, and then we'll be set. And then, yeah, hopefully, like I say, Cousin will be over very shortly just to kind of continue and take off the carton responsibilities for me as we squeeze our way around there. That's lovely stuff. And then we'll be good to go. So, we're going to get ourselves on. We'll get cracking a little bit more and get the combine going. And then we'll see how we're going. Hopefully, we'll get this field done and we can... I would love to think by the end of the day today we'll get into that last field. And, you know, another hour or two should see us pretty good with the field that we're in now. So you never know. Things could be possible. But yeah, the two old boys are ploughing along, quite literally. And then it'll be good to get these fields checked off the list as well, so we can move on. You join me in my Massey for a change, as we are demoing a new bit of equipment. This is the one that's been sitting around the yard. This is the stubble rake. We've had this for a wee bit of time. We just haven't really had any ground to go at it with at the moment. But we're in, and we are just going over the linseed ground before this gets drilled. And so far so good. We've got nice shiny, I think this is slightly under 6 meter width rake on the back here. We'll have a look at it in a bit more detail very shortly, but what we're doing here is just going over. You can see there's a small chit of weeds across here already, and this rake's actually doing a good job of just disturbing those, and then if it continues to escalate from that, then we'll just have to stick a bit of glyphosate on there to get those all taken care of. However, it should be pretty good, and then we'll be able to drill straight into the back of this. What we will be doing at some point is probably coming around with the old flat lifter subsoiler just to go over the tram lines here, make sure they're looking good, and then yeah, we'll drill straight into the back of that as well. But nice simple basic machine here, but it's doing a great job, so I really can't be too upset. Harvesting is all done over at Baling. We have the headlands over there around the sugar beet field to do for spring barley, and then the beans here as well, and that is us. So we're in a little bit of a wait. Combine's back. The headers are still over at the field there, but it's remarkably a good end to harvest so far. Spring barley's done well, especially the larger fields over there were particularly good. So I'm really pleased with that. And we have a mountain of straw to go and start carting in. We're going to get ahead of that now. Actually, once we finish this field off, we're just going to take the Massey down there and bring a trailer load back and see what the damage is looking like. But there's a lot to go out there, which is good because we needed it. We stuck the linseed straw over there, so the rest of it will be going into sheds, and some of it will probably also end up going up to South Healy as well, because like I say, we're going to need a lot. So we'll see how we get on there. But yeah, ultimately, very pleased that we needed a good showing from the spring barley. I think we got it. So it's all safely in the grain store now, and we'll see what that looks like in terms of if it's going to pass the requirements for going into molten barley, which hopefully it will. And if it does, then I think it's due to leave probably around December time. So we'll just stay in the sheds there for now. But yeah, very pleased with that. Very happy indeed. And yeah, we're just starting to turning our attention now really to all things cultivation work. Bungle's currently down drilling cover crop in the new land down at Baling, so we'll swing by and have a look. He's been going at it all day, and I think it's now late afternoon. I think he's into the last field there, which is great. So new ground's been worked over, ploughed over, had everything spread, so that's a big chunk of land work done. Now we can just focus on the new crops, getting everything into the ground there. So that should be really interesting to see. Before we go any further though, we'll just knock the GPS off and lift this up. Here it is. It is the Landstall, and it's like I say, a very simple bit of kit really, but it's doing a great job there working over the stubble, and it's yeah, something we've been thinking about, especially the more we get towards all things direct drilling. This would be a great precursor to that really. So, and you can really bucket along a field with this as well, which is always good. And that's exactly what we'll continue to do here. We've got this one, well, maybe 2 passes left, I guess. Not too bad. And then we will be away. GPS back in, down it goes. And we're flying. And then yeah, weather's been good so far. It's due to stay really strong and really bright as well for the foreseeable. So Really good chance for us to get cracking along there. We have a lot of spreading work to do up here, a lot of muck spreading fields, so we do need to get going with that one over the next few days. But we're just trying to get a few of the other jobs taken care of first, and then the drill will be going on to this tractor. I doubt it'll be coming off for a while actually, so we'll have to get going. But yeah, confident, and we'll just see how we go. We're going to wrap this one up anyway, like I say. We'll head back on over to the yard, take out the other Massey with the front loader on, and then go and start to get some bales brought back. So yeah, you can see not too many bales stacked up there. It's certainly larger than the pile was before we started, but linseed straw I think will be okay. We really just want to get the barley straw under cover. We're not going to sell any off yet. We'll see how we get on once we get everything in the sheds, but for right now at least we're just going to hold tight to what we have, and just see, you know, see how we get on this winter really, because I'm not sure how much straw is going to be out there really. Yes, sure there'll be a high price for it, but we don't want to sell ours off and then have to go back and buy some more. That would be very counterintuitive. So just come around into the yard here. There's the next chariot for me. And then we'll probably stick this just around the corner here for now. Everything's here. And everything's filling up nicely. So we'll stick you here. That'll do. Grand, perfect. All right, to the loader then. It's getting up to that time now where we really need to start going. It's early-ish evening, so we'll get maybe one load in, see how we're getting on. Now we've got plenty of space left here to go at. We did kind of get quite low and use a lot of the stuff up, and we also shuffled everything around a bit there too. So we'll see where that goes. But yeah, ultimately, we've got lots of grass to run at, or lots of straw to run at, sorry, lots of shed space, and then plenty over at South Ely as well. So we will find a way. And of course, it's always a pleasure to be able to do it in the Massey here as well. Let's get that lifted up. Alright, now we get to go and see exactly what's left to go and pick up. Now Cousin's got everything baled up over there. We left it down for about a day, just to it was fairly dry, but just to give everything a good drying out. And then yeah, Cousin got into it nice and quickly, and then it's going to be all set to bale up, it seems. Now this is where, again, this Massey is really going to come into its own for us on this farm. Our telehandlers are not great pulling trailers, and they're also a bit slow, so to be able to cart bales backwards and forwards to the yard with this, where we can then just get everything unloaded nice and easily, will be absolutely key for us. So that's what I'm really looking forward to get going with here, and just have a look to see how we get on. Hopefully the roads won't be too crazy. What we'll probably end up doing is loading up one trailer load, and then from there just seeing how we get on with the rest of them really. Maybe stack them up into, or bunch them up into groups, that kind of thing, and just see what we need. But that is certainly going to be the thinking. It's a nice quiet evening in the village here, which always is a good sign. Hopefully that will continue. Oh, and there's Bungle going along there as well. Perfect. So yeah, cover crops going in. These will be in now through till, I'd like to say, probably March, I would say, give or take. And so the idea being that this will give us a good starting point for these fields. Kind of help break up any compaction there as well, but also just capture a bit more nitrogen from the sun, and then we'll be good to go. So. And then direct drilling into that cover crop come springtime. Exactly like we did for the land over the hill there. And that seemed to turn out pretty well. I think we're looking at around about 3.5-4 tons an acre for spring barley there, which is mind-blowingly good. So we will take that. But yeah, I mean the soils that we had with all of the slurry and the lime we spread in there, we put a bit of digestate on as well. Really did help us with that. So I couldn't have asked for more really. I think that stood us in good stead just to get the best quality yield that we could. And hopefully, yeah, we'll do it all again. That field's in the process, and then that one's been done and has this one here. So not much left that we need to do with those now really. Just leave them be. There we go. And Bungle's having a great time. Alright, so as you can see, bales galore up here. We'll have a look and show you what that looks like when we get up to the top. But they are everywhere. So, which is great, like I say, but we just need to get a start, figure out how we're going to clear them all up here, because we need these fields cleared so we can get back in. So, we'll probably just stick this bale trailer somewhere in the middle, I would imagine. And then we'll cue the music and get going, I suppose. But yeah, lots here. There's actually probably slightly more in that field over there, which you'd expect because it is slightly larger. But yeah, plenty for us to get on with. Certainly not going to run out anytime soon, which is great. And we can get ourselves going and hopefully get this looking good. Now, I am going to do what I usually do when I'm carting on long distances here. And I'm going to put a couple of them on their edge first, and then we'll stack on top of that normally. So that might not make much sense, but you'll see what I mean as we get going here, hopefully. So I'm going to just do a bit of this. And then from there we'll just have them all stacked up onto the trailer like that for the bottom row, and then we'll sit the top row on top, and then depending upon what we're looking like for straps as well, we might be able to get 2 rows like that, but we will see. Anyway, let's get this all loaded up, see how it's looking, and see what's going to be left in the field first off. Well, we're making some progress. We've got the bottom deck done, half of the top, making a bit of a punch into this field at least, and then we'll see how the rest of it goes, but certainly going to be quite a few loads, and we're not going to get close to any of it done this evening. Like I say, there's no rain on the horizon, so we can probably just leave these on the deck for a little bit longer. They'll take no harm. And then we'll be good. So what we might end up doing, like I say, is just getting everything bunched up, put them into twos, that kind of stuff, or maybe into trailer loads just to get it all done. But yeah, we're getting there. I was going to try and put another load on top of this one and then go back, but You know, because there's so many there, it just seems a little bit of a risk that I don't need to take. And then there's a few high wires that will go under as well, so we'll be sensible. Alright, just gonna get that one off there. So yeah, we'll stick another 4 on, and then we'll be set. I'm gonna get this one over here. And then yeah, subsoiler will come into this field. The flat lift will at least just to go through the tram lines, make sure it's all looking a little bit better. And then we can, this one is going to go into, it was spring by there, so I think it's going to go into oats next up. I'll have to double check my rotation, but I believe that's what we're looking at. So all of these 3 fields here will be oats. Away for porridge all being well next year. But yeah, that field to our right here, that one actually did really well. I think it's because I had a lot more sun on it, south facing there, but that one did really well from a yield standpoint. So very, very pleased with how some of this has got on. Really is nice to see. And yeah, we'll get this all unloaded and we will be good. Get this done, put into the shed. That's one down. I think we might get it all in the shed. Let's get a bit squarer for that one though. We'll just have to see how we get going, but yeah, it should be fine. Should be all good. Trail's on a little bit of a slope, so sometimes getting some of these bales off is a challenge. But we're just going to put one more on each side. Grab this one for that then. And then we'll get everything strapped down and we're off. So we'll get these last 2 loaded up. Get everything strapped down there, and then we will head on back to the farm. Well, we are loaded, strapped down, and we're taking 2 back along the front with us as well. So we're just going to take this along the tram lines. Try not to make too much of a journey off tram lines when you're carting bales. It's not easy because a lot of bales aren't on the tram lines, but where we can, we'll do what we certainly can. But yeah, we've got a nice full load here. Time to take us back to the yard and see how we get on. But I think what we'll do is probably leave this here for right now, and we'll pick this up later on in the week. We'll be looking to get a little bit more of progress with our groundwork as well. But until then, thank you very much for watching as always. I do hope you have enjoyed this latest update from All Things Harvest. And we will see you next time. Until then, thanks for watching the latest update of my farming life. I've been Simulation for the Nation. If you haven't done so already, do hit that like, subscribe for more, and we'll see you all in the next one. Catch you later.